listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good whatever it is. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. Here we go. What is it, Wednesday? Never know what day. The only way I know what day it is because of Tuesdays. The only reason I know that is because I do 2 shows on Tuesdays. So, hi everybody. How are you doing? Good. Where do I want to start? Well, I'll tell you. Let me grab my phone. I'll tell you where I'm going to start. First thing I do like to get out there is it's been a bit of drama going on, and of course I don't tolerate drama at all in any way, shape, or form. So just let people know that. Excuse me, I don't deal with it well. I just delete. It works. Anyway, I got this really, really awesome. Got to say a big shout out to Pa down in Shreveport, and you might know him as one of our police buddies that is doing his job inside, baby, and having some fun while doing it. And just a treat to talk to him anytime he calls. And everyone is. I got to tell you, everyone's just great. Anyway, just got a text from him about, let me see, what time? About 20 to 5, a couple hours ago, not even, hour and a half ago. And I'll start the energy off with this because I always like starting off with fun and finishing with fun. It's kind of how I fly. Anyway, this one in from Pa. And I'm so glad you chose that. I can't even go back to the other name because it works so perfectly for you. Anyway, here was a text I got today. I've had at least 5 attorneys backpedaling today just by asking them if using the legal name is fraud. I even had one of them tell me to quit listening to you. Imagine that. Don't kid yourself, people. These lawyers, they know who I am. There's a name that they're getting spinning around in their universes, and this is the effect that you all have, right? There's a name in the fictitious slave trading, soul stealing, legal matrix world that goes around that is I know is causing great disturbance because that's been my purpose and intent all along, and that is Kate of Gaia. Not because it's me, but because of what it represents as far as we. This is not a singular effort, of course. This is our mission to accomplish. I have my piece, you have yours. And what we're doing now is accomplishing these things on a grand scale, probably a lot bigger than any of you imagined. And, there are some days I have to pinch myself, but this has gone beyond exponential. I've been away for a few hours today, so I'm really just getting back and getting up to speed here, guys. So bear with me until I get my little brain going here. I actually get my heart going because the brain's really just a messed up thing to play with. But, man, you rock. I did have a few questions in the Facebook, and I haven't had a chance to open my email yet. But I just want to quickly go through a few of these, and we'll get this open tonight. And lots of interaction. Anyone that's got some Magic Road or Yellow Brick Road Interstate 60 stories to share as you're becoming aware of your invisible shields that truly are around you. The more people hear that from others other than myself, because, guys, I've been talking for so long. It's just Kate. She's just saying the same shit all over again. Yeah, because it just took you this long to figure it out. It's that simple. It's really mind-blowing when you stop and think about it. People want to, I've got to save my home and my family and my car and my this and my that. And, and why are you using a legal name then? But if I don't, see, but. It's the only thing that's got you in prison. But you can't get that through your thick skull, you see, because you're programmed. And that's why we're here to thin that skull a little bit, Hopefully, anyway. That's my intent. And why I've been doing this for as many years as I have. And, it was expensive college, I assure you. But very worth it in the end, because what I get to witness now is people keeping their homes because they're not the legal name, and any servers or bases that come anywhere near them can't go any further because they need the legal name to steal your stuff. You see, anything that's attached to that legal name is accessible through you by consenting to be that legal name. I know again, it's like everything in your universe is your computer filled with everything that matters to you, and you don't want anyone to touch that. But here you go, you hand out the password every time you consent to be a legal name. So whose fault is it? And it's not like I haven't said this a few 100,000 times. Lose the name, win the game, okay? But Kate, it can't be that simple. Yeah, you keep saying that. You keep saying that, and you keep giving up your families, your children, your homes, everything around you, your businesses. You keep giving up everything in terms of your foolishness into feeding a child-murdering system called taxes. You keep doing that. Yeah, if you're comfy with that, you just keep doing that. But don't expect any great rewards as a result of being party to crime, fraud, right? Okay, let me see. I just want to go through these and have a look, because this probably set the pace nicely. Just a shout out to you, Ryan, Jay Ryan. It's just been crazy the last little bit. I'll do my best to hook up with you tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Not exactly sure what you want to talk about, but yeah, we'll chat tomorrow. Come on. There we go. All right, so this one's in from Jin AIT. Where are we? Okay, and these are I just glanced. I haven't read it yet, but I know this is going to be an atypical. I get these questions every day, all day, every day. So I'm going to answer it, and it's the same answer I'm going to give everyone that has any of these scenarios whatsoever, because it is this simple. There is nothing. It's like this. If you had one thing holding up the entire castle, and if you pulled that pin out, let's say there's one linchpin, cornerstone, and if you removed it, the whole castle falls down and destroys it all. And if you knew where that cornerstone was, you'd understand what I'm talking about. The castle, if you can imagine, is the entire matrix of the legal system, the banks, the governments, all of this other fear-porn shit that people still wallow in and play in the matrix. And why would you waste time climbing around up in the branches of this tree that is falling right now because I've got my chainsaw all the way through it? Me and a handful of others. You know, you want to hang around with the monkeys up in the fucking tree, you go ahead. But that mother's coming down, with or without you on ground. So this is a one answer that takes the whole castle, the whole tree down. There's no point in trying to pick a branch off only to have the branch grow again, and you haven't done anything else to help anybody else. So when you get into the attitude of helping all of humanity with all of your decisions, then you're going to start moving forward. And until then, you're just a Luciferian meat stick stuck in the legal matrix of this literal world. Enjoy the merry-go-round. Don't expect to get out of here anytime soon. Because I'll tell you, here's your deja vu moment from Kate. If you have a deja vu moment right now listening to what I'm saying, it means you fucked it up the last time. Try to get it right this time, okay? Because that's all I'm doing. I have a question for you. This is from Jen. I recently learned about the whole legal name thing. Good. Words out, baby. If I were to get pulled over, see, scripting. So I'm going to nip that in the bud just to show people, stop doing this, because you're actually scripting your own I'm going to get pulled over stuff, okay? If you need to, if universe has to give you something like a feather dust situation where you get to actually prove this to yourself once and for all, or you can just actually know this, great, but do not script. But and thank you. I'm going to remember, I am not passing judgment on anything or anyone here. What I'm doing is being a neutral observer on every situation as being everything the same, because it is. It's one story, one common thread, one easy cornerstone. All right? And I know that sounds unbelievable. That's because you're in Pisces age. I'm in Aquarius. I know this, and there are many of us in the age of Aquarius now. The vastness of humanity, as far as I can tell, is still stuck in the age of Pisces, I believe mentality. And you enter the age of Aquarius when you suddenly give up the I believe just because everyone else does, and you move into the 1 + 1 = 2 and try to tell me otherwise. Here, before I continue here, let me give you a little example of how important this is and how quickly people buckle to peer pressure because they don't want to be outside the crowd, outside the box. It's on YouTube. I remember seeing it about a year ago, and I thought it was quite brilliant. And what they had done was they'd set up a blind test where they had, I think, 10 university students would have to come in and answer a series of questions, observational questions. And one of the students, I don't think it was 10, but anyway, there was at least half a dozen or more. But one of the students wasn't in on the gig. All right? The one came in blind. The other 9 knew what was going on, and what they were told to do was deliberately, as a team, pick the wrong answer every time to see how long it would take the one that didn't know what was going on to buckle, if they indeed buckled. Oh, yeah, this monkey buckled. Took about 4 questions, but he finally buckled. You know, this is the power of listening to bullshit, right? When you listen to people that are talking about all the wrong stuff all the time, and just because there's a half a dozen of them talking about the same bullshit, doesn't mean to say you have to go over there and say, hey, oh, okay, I agree with that bullshit. No, you walk over there and say, you know what, guys, that's bullshit. Stand in your own truth. But what inevitably happened was, I think it took 2 or 3 questions. What they were doing was they were putting placards up, and they would have, say, 4 lines of different lengths. And they were asked to give an answer, A, B, C, or D, as to which one was the longest or which one was the shortest. And these things were mind-numbingly blatant. There was no way you could doubt yourself unless you felt peer pressure, which this individual did. And it was the same effect with everyone. I'd like to see them pull that shit on me. I'd be calling them all a bunch of wankers. But anyway, including the guy doing the test. It's a load of shit, man. You got a bunch of retards here, and you're not jumping in. But anyway, bottom line is this. First one comes up, and I think it was which line is the longest? And I let's say it was B. And the other, the students would say they would say D, right, which was second longest. They wouldn't play it totally blatant, but it was blatant enough to tell. So anyway, they would start with one of the students that knew what was going on. They say, yeah, D is the longest. Another one, and of course the guy that didn't know what was going on kind of gave that, the puppy dog head tilt. Huh? What? Huh? And the next 1 or 2 students after this one also said D. And by this point, this guy's kind of, are they seeing something that I'm not seeing here? But anyway, he said, no, it's B. And of course, no one reacted. This was the neat thing about it, was the only one that ever reacted was the guy that didn't know what was going on. So then it would go to the next one, they'd see D, and everyone except this guy that actually got it right said D. And then, of course, the teacher or the one running the survey or blind test said, okay, no problem. And he would take the placard away, would not give an answer. So there was no certainty in who was right or who was wrong. So this guy was left hanging, not sure if he got it right because the answer wasn't given at the end of that placard. Then it went to the next placard, something similar along, which circle is bigger or which circle is smaller, and of course the same routine. And he would pick the right one again, and the rest of the students would pick the wrong one. But you can start to see this guy question himself. And then I think by the 4th one, I think he was the 3rd or 4th to be asked which one it was, and the 2 or 3 in front of him had said the wrong answer, and he's just kind of looking side to side, and he said, yeah, it's that one, right? It's absolutely wrong, blatantly wrong. That's the power of peer pressure. And that's what you're dealing with in this physical meat stick world, boys and girls. And you better decide whether you're going to go along with the fucking retards that are getting it wrong, or stand on your own and decide that 1 + 1 = 2, and no one's going to shift you from it. Yeah, it's not an easy place to stand, because when you stand in the truth and in the reality of what's really going on here, you are a sore thumb standing so far outside the box. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. But it's a lot more comfortable than the princess and the pea, because no matter how many mattresses that you pile on that pea, which is no matter how much you try to hide from that lie, you'll never sleep comfortably. And that's what we're doing, is we're showing people how to you're not sleeping right because you gotta lie that you're sleeping on there. That's a P. And people would rather just keep adding mattresses on and deluding themselves. But the truth of this is very simple. Just plant the seed and walk away. They're not your concern. You can't rationalize with insanity, and you certainly can't reason with psychopathy. And unfortunately, many of the people in your day-to-day lives are dealing with both of that. And tell me they're not. How many people that stand in the truth have been put into mental institutions, family members and friends and what have you. And that just shows you the level of degradation that family members or friends, whatever, they would go to. Like in the case of Megan, she does not want to have anything to do with an inheritance coming at her, and because her kids were going to benefit from it, they decided to put her in a hospital. I've known Meg for a while, and there's people getting word out about that. Again, this is, for me, it's the course. And I can't say it's not my concern, but I have to say it's not my concern. I do care, but it's the more I can get neutral on this and accept all things and stand in the arms of universe, the quicker this resolves itself, because I know that's what has to happen. We create the resistance against the actual allowing of creation itself. But let's get back to this question from Jim, and I'll start it again. I have a question for you. I recently learned about the whole legal name thing. If I were to get pulled over for anything aside from hurting someone else or their property, and an officer stops me for some bullshit, how would I go about saying that the legal name on the ID is not me without sounding like a smart-ass, sarcastic liar or a sovereign citizen or a free man on the land? Well, here's the problem right out of the gate, because the smart-ass and the sarcastic liar is actually the cop. They're trained to do that. So standing in truth doesn't make you a sarcastic liar or a smart ass. It actually makes you honest. It makes you willing to stand in the truth. And the answer is quite simple. If you're carrying ID, you don't know who you are. So if you carry anything that on you, and don't worry, just because a cop can't see into your purse or into your wallet or pocket doesn't mean to say the universe doesn't know you're carrying ID, and that's the part that people are missing here. The universe sees all. This is the all-seeing eye, remember? The all-creating eye. Ponder that one for a couple of seconds. I think of the ludicrous insanity of people that are, NSA's watching and, spyware. And yeah, great. What part of the all-seeing, the entire universe that is fully and completely aware of you aren't you getting? You think you have secrets. No, you don't. That's the joke. You think you do. You're in the illusion that you have secrets. But you're only fooling yourself. You're deluding yourself. But I'll tell you this right now. If you're carrying ID and you're not certain of who you are and you're still playing in the Matrix and the Whore of Babylon, number of the beast, name of the beast, mark of the beast, don't worry. The universe knows that. And you will get tested. And chances are, if you want to try to pull a free man stunt while carrying ID, please expect to get, have the shit beat out of you. That might be something that could happen. You might get your ass dragged to jail. What else? Oh, there's lots of things. Do not test the universe. Do not test truth. You either stand in it. Don't tempt the truth, because you will lose. I promise you. This is where you got to get real clean with yourself. This is where you got to get real clean. And you're going to have to decide something. You're going to have to decide whether you're going to be part of the Whore of Babylon system or you're going to start extricating yourself from it. At whatever degree it needs to go. But the most important and fundamental thing that people need to understand here is you need to have your mind changed first. Because people still talk in terms of, I got something in the mail. No, you fucking didn't. Okay? I'm going to let that sink in. These are very subtle things. Using words like hopefully and maybe and perhaps and it seemed like and just by chance, what a coincidence, oh, that was lucky, all that stuff is telling me that you're still a Piscean fish head. You have no certainty of yourself at all. And I will be very quick to call that out with everyone because it's that important. I was saying to Mary today as we were traveling around, I said, I'm getting tired of being the bitch here. I really am, guys. I'm really getting tired of being the devil's advocate, but I'll do it. I don't like having to go to the extent of, if people have to hate me to get this. That's no bother to me. But I have to assure you that there are better things I could be doing with my time. So I'm being as gentle as I can, when I can. And of course, I will do whatever I need to do, come at you in whatever way I have to. New people that are at the table, some old-timers. I don't care what it takes to get this across to this level of certainty. Everything you say is everything you create. Abracadabra, I create what I say. Because say is creation itself. Himself, herself, itself. Look it up in a Latin to English translator. Type in 2 letters, S-E, which, by the way, phonetically means the divine feminine consciousness. 2 letters, S-E. Not second edition or special edition. That's one variation of it. But it is creation itself. That's why the word say matters so much, because it's coming out of your torus into the spiritual torus field, your mouth, through the pearly gates, teeth, from the lungs, Gemini spirit, excuse me, into the torus field of the physical. Okay? So the simple answer is, if you truly know who you are, you won't get pulled over anyway. They'll just look at you and drive away. You see, you'll remove yourself from what I've been calling the spiritual radar. The only way you can be spotted on the spiritual radar is if you have doubt, fear, and carrying ID. Someone who, I've said this before, someone who thinks they know who they are and are still carrying any form of identification while traveling in a car, driving, I don't care about any terms, but that means, shut up. It means what it means. Who cares? I'll redefine the words as they matter to me. I'm not going to let some fucking lawyer or judge tell me what a word means. I'll decide what that sound means to me. It's only a sound. Who the fuck owns that? I make up my own language for that matter. Whose definition is it now? You see my point? But anyway, someone who's carrying around identification, thinking they know who they are, the same as an alcoholic walking around with a reformed alcoholic walking around with a 40-pounder in their back pocket just in case I have a relapse. Just in case I have a relapse, when you put something there as a safety net, you're saying that you're going to have a reason to fall back, and you will. Yes, you will. You will every time. Talking to the smokers out there, how many times you said, well, I'm going to have 1 pack of smokes and I'm not going to open them? And at least I know they're there, so I don't, I'm going to quit, but I know they're there if I need them, so I have peace of mind. And usually within about a day or less, that pack is opened, and oh well. If thine eye offend thee, pluck it out, which means if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, stop doing it. And if somebody's doing something to you that they shouldn't be doing, then you stop them from doing it. You pluck them out. Okay? You make your own choices. Make no bones about that one. And the choices you make are your causal positions. So if you choose to stand in the truth and then decide at the last minute not to, well, please don't expect the universe to stand with you. Well, you won't stand with me, I won't stand with you. Remember the opening scene in The Mummy? Where, what's his name? Oh, Rick was the character's name. Brandon or Brendan something, whatever. Brendan Fraser. What was his little sidekick, the slimy little bastard that gets it in the end? Benny. They're standing there in the face of this onslaught of an army coming at them while they're at whatever the hell that place was called. It's like I care right now. But anyway, the point of this being was the commanding officer runs off. So that made Brendan Fraser, Rick, made him the commanding officer. And Benny looks at him and he said, I guess that makes you in charge. He says, yes. And he looked down at Benny, and Benny looks at him and says, your strength is my strength. And they're standing there side by side, and of course Benny, he turns and runs. So if you look at Brendan Fraser as the universe, you can't stand alongside and be willing to be there equally. Don't expect the universe to be that. The heart of all creation will be there to the degree that you will be there for it. That's how it works. Be true to your word. Mean what you say what you mean. I think we've all screwed up quite enough in our lifetimes. I think it's time to move on from that paradigm. So hopefully I've answered that question for you, Jen. Yeah, it's blindingly simple. It really is. And I can't stress this enough. And there's enough people at the table now and many more are coming. And like I said, the information and people contacts, I've had another bunch of Facebook friend requests that I don't have room for. And I'm going through, by the way, guys, if you decide to deactivate your Facebook account and you're in my friends, could you please defriend me first before you do that? Otherwise, I have to spend hours going through deactivated accounts. And I know I've come across a few that are in my friends with a different name. So please do that for me. That would save me a lot of time, and it would make room for others that want to be part of that as well. So, because people that want to tag me I see it as that's someone who wants to come to the table. Not me. It's about coming to our table. Okay? So please be mindful of others. Yeah, that's how it works. But anyway, all right, so that's one. Great question. And by the way, guys, the other part of it too is pulled over for anything aside from hurting someone else or the property. Unless someone would have an intention to go out and hurt someone else. Of course, you don't. If you're saying that, obviously you don't. You would never have the intention to intentionally harm someone unless your ego still has full control of you. At which point, all bets are off on this table. I'm not going to bet for you. But anyway, write the scripts, learn to trust, and it is a big step. It's I think it's roughly about a half-foot step. But you got to take the step. And you don't have to do anything. This is the thing that I'm trying to get across to people. People still feel the need, well, don't I have to send it to this government agency and that? No, you don't. The only thing I would suggest you send is, once you understand this truth, is send them pure contracts. Babylon Has Fallen is a pure contract. Everything sent is deemed contract upon sending. And I prove that because if there's an open mailbox on the other end that says, I'll accept anything, well, offer accepted. And by the way, that's in their books. So those who make the rules must obey them. So I just used their own rules against them, like I did with Phoenician, breaking that code. I used every rule in the grammar and English or whatever, it doesn't matter. Prefixes, suffixes, sentence structures, words. I used all of the rules, and I broke all of the rules using them. In the same way that an A can sound like an E in some words, and an E can sound like an A, well, then I can make it sound whatever way I want. And I can take so many words, and I would say them, and you wouldn't know the word I was saying. Truth. Depends on how you pronounce it. I redefine my reality as I need to. Something doesn't sit with me, then I just take the word and redefine it. Because if there's any sort of negativity or positivity intended through a singular or polarized definition of a word, well, I'm going to go looking for its mirror. Because its mirror exists in every word. And when I do that, then I neutralize that word, and I use it with only my pure intent now. There's no hidden carrier of malevolence in it. Right? It's good for the goose, good for the gander. So it's really simple. A 7-year-old nailed it with 4 words. No names here, mate. But you better have no names here, mate, and there better not be names in your brain either. If it's on a piece of paper, it isn't you. If it's on a plastic piece of card, it isn't you. If it's in a little booklet called a passport, it isn't you. It says right in the front of the passport. Here, let me grab it. I still have the emergency one that the British consulate confirmed unless you know more than the British consulate, they confirmed that any use of the legal name was fraud. That was 3 years ago. Right about coming about now, right about now, because it was 2011 when my dad died, and I had to get an emergency passport, and I would have been right in the middle of negotiations right now because we ended up going to Ireland in August to bury my dad, and it was issued on, when was this issued? It was given the date, doesn't have the issue on it. Probably does somewhere, but I'm not really that interested in it. Let me see. Yeah, well, here we go. Now, just to, this was uncovered a long time ago, but just to read this, pay attention to this. Her Britannic Majesty's Secretary of State, there's your SOS, by the way, requests and requires, in the name of Her Majesty, all those whom it may concern to allow the bearer to pass freely without let or hindrance, and to afford the bearer such assistance and protection as may be necessary. Well, that's what we are. We're the water bearers, aren't we? The truth bearers. Just funny how that came into play. It's a British passport, by the way. United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, in the legal sense. Another little note to help dispel this whole all caps name versus lowercase, uppercase. If you look up in canon law, the God aspect name must be spelled in capital letters, and now, but you'll have everybody argue that capital letters is capitis diminutio maximus, slave, ultimate slave. But then, if it's an ultimate slave, it must be an ultimate God too. You see, because you've been polarized into thinking there's only one or the other, right? That's a duality. It's simple. It really is that simple. So the thing that says that you're a slave actually says in canon law, where corporate law replaced, and of course canon law is bullshit too, but let's just keep it simple, just to show you the duality. It says right in canon law that the all caps name is the God version of you, and I understand why, because it's the upper kase, the upper spirit of creation versus the lower kase, or lower spirit of creation. You might say case, but I pronoun say things a little different, as it matters to me. So case or kase, a C can be a K, can be an S. So remember that. You can use whatever sounds you want. And didn't you ever wonder why it was such trouble to make sure that every child spelled the word exactly the way they were supposed to spell the word? I think that's funny, actually. It's almost like it was intentional to make sure that the spell was cast properly. Don't you think? Well, you wouldn't want to get the spell wrong, right? Not if you're trying to control a population. Yes, indoctrinate the children well. Okay, let's go to question 2. Then we'll get these mics open, get everybody rolling here. Where are we? Oh, just checking. All right, where are we? I'm just going down a couple of things here, guys. Just I'm not sure if there's questions, but yes, you can. Yes, you can. Anton, yeah. As soon as you have a Skype account, you just add whatever you want to it. The account's yours on any computer, right? Yes, you can. And for those that need this, katie.renee.thompson is my Skype. That's my GPS to find me on Skype. It's just a reference. It's a grid reference. And the grid reference is spelled thusly: KATIE dot RENEE dot THOMPSON. Send. Okay, Anton, please add me to your contact. And that's the joy of Skype, because if it's on any computer, all you have to do is sign in your account, and you're rolling, baby. That's why I love it. Okay, let me see. I've had some really good questions, and something else I want to mention, guys. It's very difficult for me to try to text things to explain this. Typically, someone would ask me a question that, like the one I got there, they're all basically the same. is the same as walking up to Einstein and asking him to explain E equals mc squared in 100 words or less. Can't be done. Because it's so simple. It takes a lot of time to get people to that point. And I've had many occasions where I would be trying to walk someone down the road I walked. You have to get this concept to get the next one, 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 to finally understand the full concept. It is so simple. And people usually like jumping in around the second or third, right? That's because they can't shut up their left brains. And by the way, yes, thank you very much, guys. It's BTR Listener 028. So if you want to get on via Skype, BTR Listener 028. Just put that in your Skype contacts and do search. As soon as it shows up, right-click it, hit call, see you on the board. For those that want to call in, it's 661-467-2401. And when you get to the board, just put your hand up by hitting 1 on your phone or 1 on your Skype. Okay? And keep in mind, if you do have your mic opened, it is your responsibility to be quiet on your end or mute out while you're not talking, because I'm at zero tolerance. I will just disconnect the call. I won't mute it. Okay? I mean, this table is wide open. This table belongs to everybody equally. And I don't think you would like it if someone was banging and snorting or doing something in the background while you were talking. So please share the courtesy with all. That's all I ask. And I assure you there is no other table or radio show that the hosts open the board this freely. It's no holds barred here, boys and girls. You speak your mind. That's what this table's for. You have no limitations here. All right? So just keep that in the back of your mind, please. I really appreciate that. Okay, where are we going? Excuse me. There was a few things that I did want to touch on today. That was one of them. Let me just scroll down here a bit. Oh, come on. Where are we? Yeah, thanks, Wayne. That's good point. Oh. Multiple browser add-ons. Yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys, my computer's being a bit... I just managed to get it defragged today, so it's... Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. Sorry, I get these big pop-ups on my screen right now. No, I don't want to restart. Thank you. How about you... Cancel. There we go. This is great, right in the middle of the show. Where are we? Yeah, don't you love this live radio stuff? All right, well, here's one. This is where I was going to. Thanks, Clarity. That's why I go to yours, because you always seem to have exactly what I'm going to be looking for. Anyway, sitting there waiting for me. Thank you very much. And there it is. Another story in from the Wayne and White Legacy. It's beautiful. So here, this is from Wayne. It goes like this. So sitting in the garden talking to White about what she wants to do on Saturday for her Earth Day. Others call it birthday. I would call it birthday with spelling it E-A-R-T-H with a B in front. That's the Be the Ear of God Day. Yes, absolutely. Listen. So anyway, I was talking to White about what she wants to do on Saturday for her Earth Day. I said if we can do it, we will. And she said, I want you to take the laptop back to the shop and get the money back. So I said, but you wanted one, and you were so happy that you was getting it. She said, well, it's not about me, Dad. It's about all of us. And where did it go? And she said, all the money I get off everyone, I want to put it all together and go to the sandwich shop or make our own and get some drinks with all the money and go around the people who are living on the streets and give them something to eat and drink. That's what I want to do for my birthday. So cried when she said that. She gets a lot of money on her birthday. I've got 9 brothers and sisters and 86 nephews and nieces. And where was it? And her mom has got a big family too, so it does get a lot of money, so there's going to be a lot of people getting something to eat on Saturday. Love to all of you. Well, thank you, love. And that's exactly what it's about, guys. You know, it takes a child to show you that. You know, it's like, really, do you need that big, brand new $70,000 sport utility vehicle just because your neighbor has one? That'd feed a lot of kids, guys. You know. Here we go. Oh, and there was a little add-on to it. I didn't see this yet. My friend came around and asked, what do you want for your birthday? She said, you can print me some of Kate's docs. Yes. He said, how many do you need? And I don't know yet until I do the sandwiches. I want to give a doc with every sandwich we give them so they know what's going on here. So he said, okay, just let me know and I will do them for you. Okay, she said with a big smile on her face. Well, hon, I got to tell you, you know, you work in miracles, and I'm really hoping that everyone listening right now is really hearing what is going on here. And you're doing some serious soul searching, and then questions about what you say to a cop are completely fucking irrelevant. When you know that the truth is simple, and White was very simple in what she did. No names here, mate. Excuse me? Yes, you're excused. No names here, mate. Walks away. That's the power of truth. And I can tell you why it was so powerful because, well, at the age of 7, you're not carrying around wads of identification, are you? I thought I'd make that point clear, too. So you must be as the child, clean and pure. None of the whore of Babylon licentious licenses. Like, for those that are new listeners, license comes from licentious, which means that you're a sexually and morally depraved criminal. So the mere fact that you carry one, Mr. Police or Miss Police Officer, means that you're a sexually and morally depraved criminal. You carry a license for driving. You carry a license for your gun. You carry a license for being a cop. How many other licentious things do you have proving that you are a sexually and morally depraved bastard? There you go. Babylon has fallen. Looks like it's really getting around and is reflecting itself in reality. Here's a headline that appeared today in mainstream media sporting news. The Roman Empire has fallen. Funny how that works, eh? The NFL announced on Wednesday that Super Bowl 50 will be graphically represented using numbers instead of Roman numerals, which the league has been using since Super Bowl 5 in 1971. The NFL will break from tradition and go without a Roman numeral on the Super Bowl 50 logo. However, order will be restored for Super Bowl I in 2017. 51. No, it won't. Considering that the Super Bowl represents the pinnacle crown glory sporting event of Babylon, the headline is prophetically coincidental, in my opinion. Maybe this post is from Willie X. A great breakdown on the anagogics here, my friend. Considering that the Super Bowl represents the pinnacle crown glory sporting event of Babylon, this headline is prophetically coincidental, in my opinion. Maybe this is the elite's way of signaling their brethren that they know their game is over. There's also something going on with the coincidence of numbers V, 1971, LI, which is 51 Roman numerals, 2017. Haven't wrapped my head around it yet. Any ideas? Well, you just planted that seed, so let that one roll around. And here's one from Peter Shea. Thank you, Peter. You guys are getting the job done, boys and girls. Just quickly before I do that, check in with... Oh, my mini-me awesome kid. Yes, Bindi, you have got that right. Absolutely. Where are we? Okay. I'll have to have a look at that again, Paul. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to get to everybody here. Just stay with me. Okay, so this is what Peter has shared. I read Babylon has fallen aloud today near the town centre of Galway. Era. That's E-I-R-E. That's the traditional name of Ireland. And handed out printed copies. Like a stone thrown into a pond, I cast word into the universe where its truth ripples and reverberates without borders to all. That is so true, and this is the power that you will wield. And I cannot cannot stress that any more than that. So, Randy, I'd love for you if you're going to be around tonight. You had mentioned about just see a post here regarding going out for dinner, and I'd love to have a chat with you if you're around before you go, and to give everybody a heads up. And did I get the BTR listener 028? I want to make sure I got that right, unless that was a different. Okay, I think so. I think we're okay. Anyway, that being said, there wasn't really much. There was a few other questions there, but again, all the same. What do you call it? Same answer. Lose a name, win the game. Bindi, how are you?
Hey, I'm hard to answer that one. I know who I are, but how I are, I don't know. I'm struggling with all kinds of shit being thrown at me, but I'm handling it. I'm standing in my truth, and
that's all you got to do.
Time. Yep.
That's something else to keep in mind too, Bindi. I'm glad you brought that up because do not let your diligence or guard down. That is the arrogance of Lucifer or the Luciferian mindset. The minute you think you have won, you have lost. This is an ongoing, moving game, and it doesn't end until the twinkling of an eye. So don't slack, because you slack, you will be tested for it. And won't you, huh?
Yeah.
Not in the same way that that we would be tested before. Having system issues.
No. It's not slack. It's just a new layer of the bloody onion.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. Your due diligence is have to be right on the mark all the time. There is no slouching, no sleeping on this one. Right? You must remain constantly vigilant, constantly alert. Because I'll tell you, the more positive, powerful energy we're putting out, we are going to be attracting negative aspects, okay? And that is not directed at anyone in particular. It's just the way it is. And if people really know and hear me properly, it's never about anyone with me. It's about programs that are running, things that could be there that are still manifesting through individuals in the ego programs, and they will show up typically in any emotional shit at all. And that to me is just a turbulation. I don't have time for dramas like that. I really don't. It's so immature. I don't play the he said, she said game. I merely observe things. I am intuitively a neutral observer. When something doesn't sit right, I go looking for what it is, and when I pinpoint it, again, it's not about any individuals. It never is. But try telling people that, and you're still dealing with the fucking ego, and you're to catch-22. So I'll just keep playing the role of the bitch, and standing my ground, and still trying to say the same thing until it sinks in with others. And I know many of you get what I'm talking about right now, but. Again, I have no time for dramas. It's childish high school smoking area shit that I just... Sorry. Did you get out of high school or secondary school, or are you still hanging out there with that mentality? Okay? So I just want to make that crystal clear. So yes, Bindi, we do get tested on many levels. With me, it's always spiritual energies. So. Yeah,
definitely. And sometimes it takes... slipping into, how do you call it, the personal emotions of changes, and I'm just trying to get through it, and then it's a challenge to balance that and genuinely go through it instead of become it or identify with it, but just go through it, hold steady, stand tall, stand truth, and deal with the amount of bullshit that you attract while you're going through it. Because as soon as I become emotional, even if it is just trying to, process it genuinely instead of turn it into a drama, there is always somebody around that will try and turn it into drama, and that's very tiring. It's exhausting, but I can get through it. I know I can do it, and it's just taking a bit longer than I expected. But
well, here,
that expectation and keep going.
Well, here's a little thing that came to me a while back that I find very useful in exactly that situation. When you start looking at the ego or the emotional programs, that reptilian brainstem programs, they're not the spirit. They're the physical meat stick, regurgitating copycat over and over physical literals, okay? When you start looking at it as a contagion, so you have people that are carriers of the contagion and they're not even aware of it, that they're infecting others. And that's what I refer to. You've heard me talk about ego imprinting. Sort of like when someone gets in an argument with someone that they're in a relationship with, and they feel that they've been spiritually beaten down, they'll call you up to vampire your energy and give you their bullshit ego imprint, so you get to wear their emotions with them. So it's basically passing the buck. Yeah,
probably.
So and now you can look throughout anytime. Well, look at movies. The carriers don't even know they're carriers. You know, they'll walk through airports and they're infecting everybody, but let's say they're immune to it, but they're carrying it, and they're not even aware they're carrying this deadly contagion ego imprint. And that's exactly what most people are not aware of. What makes you think that you're not carrying around something in a program that you're not even aware of, that you keep imprinting on others? That's why I don't have time for it. And anytime I see any sort of that thing coming in, I know what it is. It's not the person involved. It's nothing to do with them. They're perfect. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but no, people go, yeah, right. That's program. If you have an emotional reaction to me, that's your program. That's got nothing to do with me. That's you. That's your shit you got to sort out. And quit trying to pass it over to me. I got my own stuff I'm dealing with. Simon to Jesus. Simon with all his problems. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Jesus just looks at him. You know what, Simon? Fuck off. I got my own problems. Go sort it out for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That really is what it boils down to. And I don't mind my being curt tonight, but there are days that I just get really, really, really tired of the same stuff over and over again. And I'm just going to ask everybody out there, why should I have to put up with it? I'm going to give the responsibility back. And I would ask people this, before you ask a question myself, how about you ask yourself first? Because every question that I get asked is one that's already been answered on my website. And if you'd actually taken the time and shown the respect for the time I took to give this to you freely, you would have went and read it, and you wouldn't even need to ask me these questions. So here's a big hint to everybody. Before you ask me a question, go to creativegaia.wordpress.com. I would say read Babylon Has Fallen first, just to get the overall, the synopsis of everything, and then read every one of the essays. And I don't care what it is, but get it out of your head that you're not reading this to have legal documents to serve to this, that, and the other, because you don't need them. What you need is a contract, which Babylon Has Fallen is. And once you understand the power of what I'm talking about, you'll know why I'm calling it a contract. You are serving up contract that it's an offer they cannot refuse. Okay? That's what you're doing. With Babylon Has Fallen, you are giving consciousness an offer it cannot refuse. And where's Marlon Brando when I need him? He's a godfather. Okay? That's what you're doing. But do me the favor, do everybody the favor. Do yourself the biggest favor, and just go to my site and read. Bindi, here, let me ask you. The writing's not that difficult, is it? It's pretty straightforward, yeah?
Yeah, it's English.
And it can be a little entertaining. I like to think that I'm at least a bit entertaining in my writing.
Oh, you're sassy, yeah. But that makes it an interesting read. Yeah,
I don't want people being bored. You're not reading intellectual tomes here, guys. What you're reading is someone's experience, having uncovered things, and went out and proved them for myself before I decide to share it with everybody. It's basically a reporting live play-by-play after I get through a minefield. Hey, I got through the minefield. Here's how you do it. Are you interested, or you want to? Well, listen, here, you got a blank sheet of paper, and you've got a sheet of paper with all the places where the mines are on it, and you have to walk through a minefield. Which piece of paper are you going to pick up? Well, I'm giving you the one with all the minefields markings on it, because I found them. I stood on them. I deliberately looking for them to make sure, because I know I can handle them.
I was wondering why your legs looked shorter.
Yeah, I know, eh? Short shit. It's all good. But yeah, so I think that is that a pretty fair thing to ask people, Benny? You know, maybe do us all the courtesy. Most importantly for themselves, to do themselves a courtesy. Go into that creativeguide.wordpress.com and just read the essays there.
Definitely. Yep. If you want to change your life, do that. If you don't want to change your life, do it still anyway.
Yeah, do it still anyway. And if you still don't want to change your life, don't be asking me any questions, okay?
No,
because you obviously, because you really don't care. We can offer the tools to set you free, but you got to do it for yourself. But the tools are there.
Yep.
And they're really, really simple.
Yeah, we decoded the whole shit, so it can't be hard anymore. You don't have to go through any Masonic ritual anymore. You can just read it.
Yeah. In common, actually, how many languages we got now? Probably about 18 or so.
Shit, yeah, awesome. That is so awesome. I mean, it started like English, a few Dutch, and a few Danish or Norwegian or Swedish, and then all of a sudden it went boom.
In 3 weeks.
Yeah.
A little more than 3 weeks. It's gone from English to Dutch, Slovenian, Filipino, Mandarin, German, Italian.
Right?
What's that?
We conquered the earth.
Yeah, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
Still looking for Russian translators. I'd love to see it in Russian because I love the Russian characters. They're cool.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Well, I made the wish for Mandarin. And it showed up the next day, so I'm making the wish for Russian now.
Whoever wrote that, Shay, mate. Awesome.
Oh, that was Rhea, yeah. And did you see?
Wow.
Did you see the video that Maria put together for that?
Not yet. I've only just had reconnected my internet connection now for the first 5 minutes in, I think, or half an hour in weeks. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Last time I spoke to you, I was dropped. I stopped paying my bill, didn't I? I told them I'm not Bindi Van Linden, fuck off, and then they said, well, disconnect. And I thought, assholes.
It's all good.
I'm piggybacking on the router of my neighbour. He said, I owe you one. You can piggyback on my router for tonight. I thought, well, okay, that's day one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but if you get a chance to have a look, well, they're all great. Maria and others that have been working on these things have done spectacular jobs in a co-creation. But I got to say, the Mandarin one is stunningly beautiful. It is so. Yeah. It is. I got to tell you, it is exactly what I'd expect to see with beautiful Mandarin Chinese characters on it with this background. And the drums. Oh my! It's perfect. It's perfect.
Right?
Yeah, just to see this, and it's like, wow, how cool is that? Mm-hmm. All right, we'll get some others in here. We got the Witness. Your mic's open. 480. You're open. Panarella, you're open, and Rebecca, yours. There we go. Okay.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Motherfuckers. What up, everybody?
How are you?
What up, Kate? Can I ask a question?
You just did. Ask another one.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask you what you said, the reason they were changing, the Nephilim were changing the Roman numerals to English or normal numbers.
Well, again, when you see the 5, it's got the angle and the S there, right? And of course, 5 is divine feminine anyway. It's the Venus number of Venus, right? So, number of creation, the 5, the pentagram, et cetera, et cetera. It totally makes sense because when you see when I see the 5, I also see the S, which is divine feminine, of course, O being the womb of creation. Interesting that in a couple of weeks I turn 50 as well. So I'm tying all of these things into my life path. So again, and this is what I'm asking everybody to do: see what resonates with you. pay very close attention. You've got to be extremely selfish about yourself and following your path. And in doing so, you will become selfless to help others. It's an amazing thing. It's where you're selfishly selfish and selfishly selfless at the same time. It's a beautiful place to be. Hey, who we got? Is that Panarella?
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
I love picking all that stuff apart. The S sports or the serpent ports, and the NFL, the NEPHEL, the Nephilim giants that play football.
Yeah, the Nephilim.
And I love picking apart all that stuff and telling everyone that knows more about statistics than they do about themselves, like how the sports are all put together. The best ones when you tell them about Michael Jordan and how he was the made man for Sirius, and the Bibles that fly through the air, and the Jordan's all-seeing eye, and they're just like,
Shazbot, mind melt.
No, you make up a little about that.
Oh yeah, you make such a great point on that too. By the way, with regards to all the guys around me throughout my life were all heavily into sports, and they were when it came to sports stats and everything else, they were Einsteinian mathematicians and could quote that and the other. But you ask them a simple question about philosophy, and they just went into, is there a stat to that? Again, it's just regurgitating other stuff.
You think too deeply.
What?
You think too deep, man. I need to go back to football.
Quick, what are the baseball stats? Hurry up! I need,
Try to tell them they're kicking the world around into a net, just like the other sports are doing the same thing, and they're like, wait, stop, ow, too much.
Again, it's the bread and circuses of Rome, right? So.
It's getting better and better and better.
Great point.
All right, take care, everybody.
Go ahead, guys. Jump in. Wide open.
All right, singing plants. Anyone come across singing plants? Apparently you can just put a couple of probes, one on a leaf and one into the soil, and they connect it up to a little synthesizer and into a laptop. Quite amazing sort of music. Performed on plants.
There's a video going around right now exactly showing that. So I actually haven't had a chance to see it yet. It's in my list of things to do as soon as I get all my email answered. I am never taking 2 days away again, ever, because I'm still not caught up. And that.
Never get done anything.
Who needs to detach from their email, eh?
Well, no, it's the email is easy. That's easy. And then trying to get my own life going here is like, all right, okay. Hey guys, is it okay? Is it okay if I have a life? Is that okay?
Sure.
Just asking. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This is a life. We're sharing we're all sharing a life now. Look,
exactly.
This beautiful, perfect life we've got here.
And why would I want to leave that? That's my point.
Right now, it's happening. We feel it.
Oh yeah,
don't we?
It's beautiful. Listen, everyone at this table, hear me for a second here. I want you to really feel what I'm going to say here. Did any one of you ever think for 1 minute you were going to be at the front of the changing and saving of humanity? Right at the front.
Oops. It's a tough one.
See what I'm saying? Because that's where you are.
Well, when I was 2 years old, maybe. Nah.
Well, hey, I don't discount or discredit anything. Some people, you know your life path. I've known mine for a very long time.
Yeah, I was going to say, the hell I did know, but I've been trying to avoid it for a long time because I knew what was coming.
Yeah, that's pretty much, we got to go through all this shit to get the nursery cleaned up first. Damn, okay, all right.
Yeah, I had a whole chicken coop once. It was about 2 foot deep of chicken shit, and I got a whole barrel, wheelbarrow full, of drink bottles. And in those days, we used to get 20 cents a drink bottle. Oh, I thought it was a good deal. You got used to the smell. You got it done, you know.
Mm.
Well, you know, the hardest part about any job is thinking about it before you do it. You know, it's like when you have dishes to do, and it's going to take you 10 minutes to do them, but you decide to, go off and do something else, and then all of a sudden in your mind that pile of dishes doubles, and then another half hour goes by and it doubles even more, and then when you finally get to doing it, it wasn't that big a deal, and then you're thinking, why didn't I just do that in the first place? That's what I do now. I just do it. Get the dishes done, and then I get to do my thing.
It took the words straight out of my mouth. Unbelievable.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's a natural law. You know, we've all experienced these very simple things, and that's one of the reasons why I keep it simple. I want to talk to people in real life experience as analogies. Yeah. I don't need to be sitting here talking about Einsteinian theories and the rest of that shit that goes along with it. I'm not interested in that because the child isn't going to get it. Now, there's lots of people that argue, well, you don't really talk like you're talking to children, you know. You're pretty mouthy on the air, Kate. And I said, yeah, well, again, that's because you've got issues with sounds. They're just sounds to me.
We're talking to big kids, and they need to be sworn at every now and then. So.
Yeah, but again, what is swearing? It's not. I've already told everybody countless times.
It's proper use of language and sound,
It's called redefining the words, and if we don't redefine them and use them in that manner, then how the hell are they going to change?
Exactly.
You know, it's like KKK. That's the Kate's Kids Cove. We're taking the KKK back, babies. It's not going to be just a bad thing anymore. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Flip it in the mirror. That's what we're doing here. And the only people that have charge on things in terms of words and whatever, they're just still stuck in somebody defining the words in reality for them. And that's what's going to keep you stuck in the matrix. Go ahead, Benny.
And what I keep visualizing is every time some fuckwad idiot with a sheet on its head with two holes for eyes Googles KKK, they come up with this instead of where they want to go. Soul
exactly.
Awesome.
And how,
you know?
And how is that a bad thing?
Not.
I think it's a great joke.
It's the cosmic joke just played back on them. That's all.
Pretty much. I'm good. Yeah. I like it. Works for me.
Shit, yeah. I think it's very... I like campy spirituality like this. The campier it gets, the better it is.
And that's the thing, too, about this table, you guys, and, you know, how we conduct our orchestra here. We speak in very simple terms. We speak in everyday, you know, regular everyday people. There's no need to be a rocket scientist where rockets aren't involved. And we just get it done.
Yeah, that's
no fuss,
well, we don't even
fuss.
get it done. Yeah, just let creation do it. Like, you know, the creation, like you say, you know. Don't recreate nothing. Just let it happen, man.
Yeah, let it happen. You're fighting it, not me.
That's right. Well, you know, if you get into a fight or an argument, no one wins. You know, you're forever fucking fixing your wounds, you know?
Yeah. Professor, do you want to play a game? Let me see.
No.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Wait a minute. X's and O's. Oh, that's right. Once you figure the game out, it's always a tie. So let's play a different game, shall we? Let's play one that...
Let's play. Yeah.
Well, let's just be birds and sing together, you know, the song. That's all, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
and speaking of sing together, apparently that no matter what that I was talking about yesterday is kind of sitting in my brain pan here, and there's beautiful little lines forming for a song, so it's there.
No matter what we do.
I already got the melody.
It's gonna happen.
It hit me last night. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I met a Russian last night, and you said Russian. Maybe he can translate it.
Hey, there you go. Why don't you ask him?
Yeah. When he met, he broke his back. He had to learn to walk again and all this stuff.
Oh, perfect. That's the kind of warrior we need. One that's been through the mill.
Yeah, and I told him about Gaia too. Don't worry. I said to him, hey, you're on the net, you know, check it out.
Yeah.
Well, here's the good news. Let's test out the Kate of Gaia theory of shoot the bull by asking a Russian to go shoot the bull. See what his reaction is.
Okay. Beautiful.
Nice allegory. Yeah.
Yeah, the alligators are everywhere.
One thing he shared with me, he goes, you know how people seeing now. We're in the middle of like the country and the sheep there and stuff. He goes, I don't see all this stuff. He goes, I see like Technica, this and that. He's had a few things. Anyway, but I said freaky out about these things. I get to see some of them. Anyway,
right on. Speaking of colors and freaky things, I was going to go for a walk last night, but I ended up defragging and getting my computer set up for defragging today, and I'll be taking a walk tonight. It's all good. So I'll tell you, Russian friend, I might see him in his colors.
Beautiful. Perfect and beautiful.
Oh, here's a great question.
And magical. He used magical. The word magical. Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing about it too. And once you figure out the real magic, there's no technology involved in this magic, right?
I agree.
It totally disproves the whole anti-grav. Look at this magic. No, that's an effect, guys. We're the magic.
Oh yes, yeah. Yesterday we were talking about magic. Even with another guy I was talking about, Graham. He goes, years ago, I remember, he went to a country town, Mangambia or something. He was driving with his woman at the time. And he goes, I said, I'll take you to the farm I grew up on. He goes to his wife, He's cruising. And he goes, fuck, I should have known better anyway. And he goes into this park, bogged. But he goes, I wasn't worried. He was saying, his wife, he goes, what are we going to do? Just relax. It's okay. He lit up a smoke, took it easy. What happens? A four-wheel driver rocked up. He goes, you wouldn't believe it, Nick. He goes, guess what it was? I don't know. Who it was? He goes, it was my old scoutmaster. I hadn't seen him for like, And the first words he came out of his mouth, the word he goes to me. I said, no, what? He goes, I thought I taught you better, Graham. Pulled him out, by the time he finished his smoke, he was unbogged, he goes. I said, yeah, that's the magic of life, man.
Oh, yeah. I had a great chat today with Sherry. I was kind of hoping that get her calling in. Some night anyway, actually. Cracking open another line here. And, okay, 612, you're in as well.
Thank you.
Jump in, guys. Come on. Let's party. Let's get her done. We got a planet to fix.
Could I ask a very quick question?
You just asked a very quick one. Ask another very quick one.
Yeah. I heard that one yesterday, too. Been listening to you a lot lately. Reformatting the hard drive, I call it. Is there, for court purposes, is there much of a difference between a certificate of live birth versus a birth certificate?
No, they're both fiction.
Okay.
But it's okay. You just need to understand. See, this is what I'm telling people. What we're finally at the point where you don't pay for it all. This is once you get this concept, it's like, oh my God, this is so easy. It's so easy. And it's unbelievably easy. No, really, there's no difference between live birth certificate or record of live birth or birth certificate. You see, these are all matrix tricks to keep you thinking that there's a solution somewhere else instead of in yourself. Okay. And guys, if you listen back to, say, 3 years ago, whatever, I was heavily in the whole legal thing and understanding it, and I speak fluent contract, trust, and copyright, and UCC, very, very fluent. I can converse with anybody on that, and I'll tell you this right now. I'm glad that I was able to absorb so much of that to finally come to the conclusion that it's all bullshit and it's all designed to deceive, to keep you running in circles. So there is no difference. That's to answer your question directly, so let me carry it to the next level. When you understand, this is why I ask people to read everything on my website, because I go into this in very great detail and I show you the spiritual aspect, the part that people missed. Because the physical, that's easy. You can see it. It's right there. That's real. Got it? And, I watch so many people try so many different things. Of course, myself, work within the system and watching certain things work for a very short time, then it would change because we had taken that layer or that defense, if you will, of the system away. So they had to expose it as not working. So then I would go, okay, what changed? And with me, it's always what changed? What was the cause? And I'd locate the cause and go, there it is. So, and then, because I'd see, hard to describe this, but I would observe situations that a week before would have been handled exactly the way individual handled it, but it didn't. And then I'm looking for that little subtle change, and there it is, right in your face. And then what I noticed was the layers, we were peeling these things off layer by layer. So I stopped looking at things from the physical only to see how are we in greater universal dishonor the system. It's very easy to look at the judges and bailiffs and lawyers and all that. You know they're a pack of wolves. You know they're a pack of criminals that are just out to, it's only business, out to rape and pillage. And you know, the money is nothing. It's the soul, your soul they're after. That's the real power. Because this aspect cannot create. It relies solely upon us. And I mean that literally, solely. Okay? And as long as we're duped into thinking that we can do something to change their system, then they own your mind in the matrix. But really, the only thing a birth certificate or a record of live birth is, the only thing they are the proof of the original sin, proof of the intent of those that operate the crown, not the corporation itself, the ones that there's living beings behind it, right? Let's not forget that there was an intent there to defraud humanity, that there was intent there to deceive via fraud. And the mere fact that a registration office exists is proof enough of the intent. And the fact that you have a birth certificate, the only document you will ever get rammed down your throat from the government, they won't give anything else out after that. No, you have to be the one to commit fraud by using the Crown copyright, their legal name, to go and get licenses. Now, let me just remind people, and I was talking to someone yesterday about this, but let me just remind people what is on the bottom of my birth certificate. Remember, it doesn't matter where it is, where it's from. If there's a court in the country, it is under Crown jurisdiction. The Bar Society out of the City of London Square Mile country. Okay? So let me just refresh everyone's memory on this one, because it says right on it, and I had a chat with someone, Dwayne, the other day about this very thing, because he actually brought it up, and I said, I'm glad you brought that up. And it's funny, it was just on Facebook the day before, and then here's someone that had never mentioned this before mentioned it, so I thought, okay, well, we got to bring this up, and you just asked this question, so here we go. Right at the bottom of and you'll see, I think there's a copy of my birth certificate. Not mine, it's I say mine because I'm holding a copy of it. So it's a piece of paper that's mine. And that's it, nothing else. And remember, the name, your name is yours. But see, here's the tricky part. If it can be assumed and presumed, and if you carry any ID whatsoever, or have a bank account, have loans or mortgages, or anything in the system whatsoever, excuse me, it can be assumed and presumed that you're a legal name. Fact. But when you really know who you are, you can still have some of these things and not worry about it. But I'll tell you this right now, as soon as you really understand this and the power that this is, you won't be making any more mortgage payments because you know it's fraud. One, you're not actually making a mortgage payment. You're paying rent for the bank manager or loans officer that actually you lent the money to. You don't lend it to the bank. You lend it to them. You, the living, cannot lend money to a dead corporation. So the deal is between you and whoever was flesh and blood on the other side of the desk. And the seal, the Midas touch, was simply when you touched it. So you can go into UCC and what the X means and what the lines mean. I mean, I went through all of this, you know. It was just spin out after spin out. But right on the bottom, right in your face, it says this. Caution, there are offenses relating to falsifying or altering a certificate and using or possessing a false certificate, which is any form of identification created from this. Okay? And it says right on it, Crown copyright. So, yeah, that's fine. They own the legal name. They can keep the legal name and the numbers. It's just a piece of paper. You, on the other hand, well, the house that's attached to you through that legal name, as soon as they can't get through the legal name, they can't touch anything. Remember that, let's look at things logically. No one gets to the Father, the heart of all creation and spirit breath, that's your creation, except through me, the magnetic electric, right? The me, you. And as soon as you say that you are the legal name, you're saying, well, come on in, help yourself. No, go ahead, take the kids. Yeah, I love them. Yeah. Go ahead, take them. Put them into slavery. Absolutely. Oh, the house, you want that? Oh, yeah, take that too. All my stuff, knock yourself out. But they can't do that if they don't have you consenting to be their legal name. So when you do that, you're basically handing your spirit password over. And right here we are again. Warning, a certificate is not evidence of identity. At which point, the immediate reaction for me was, well, what the hell is it then? Someone had asked me the other day, I think it was yesterday, about the birth certificate and the judge bows to sovereign video. All that was evidence of the fraud. It was, I brought in prima facie evidence that I knew who I was, and I tell you, based on what happened that day, that was a very, very profound day, right to the point where the judge bowed and ran. And someone asked me about, well, weren't you fined 29 days later? And I said, well, the name had nothing to do with me. And the irony was, the other ticket, there were supposed to be 2 tickets, was for my ex, who I had been divorced from for over a year and a half. Think about that. And there was no tickets. Think about that. Oh, but fuck, people don't want to hear the truth. Oh, fuck, they want to make up all sorts of shit to justify their bullshit position, right? Or you have the shills that are still trying to spin this out. And the truth of the matter was, they failed all 3 times trying to, quote, serve me, unquote. I have that all on video, except the 2 baby cops. But I got the private bail, or not private, the court bailiff who knew me personally, was a assistant coach in my daughter's soccer team that I helped out coaching with as well. So it wasn't like the guy didn't know me, but I have him on video and admitting, yes, well, you're not this name, then this is not for you. Of course it isn't. I know that, right? And this is the same asshole that was down in the cells during my 28-day solitary. And this guy, dared to look me in the eyes. And I tell you, he asked me, well, how is Emily? And I just looked him in the eyes and said, none of your fucking business, you cocksucking parasite. You know what's going down here. You're a fucking criminal, and you know it. He didn't like me too much for that. But I just told him what was going on. It's the truth. There's a guy that can make a difference and say, yeah, but no. He's got his lips wrapped around the big whore's cock. Osiris, deep-throating. And I'm being graphic because I want people to get the notion of this is what you're all doing if you're playing with the system. I hate to tell you that. And I got to tell you, I hated to tell myself that. It was not very comfortable. But there it is. Warning, it's not evidence of identity. So if you use it for identification, what are you doing? You're a false impersonator. And guess what false impersonation gets as a sentence? It's a capital crime. You get executed. So if you hear about cops killing people in the streets or killing them in jails or in custody or whatever, but that's not why you're getting upset about it. All a bunch of false impersonators committing capital crime anyway. And the simple truth is this: I can take any one of you and talk to any one of you, get your mom's name, your dad's name, where you were born, when you were born, your name, and I can order your birth certificate and start creating all sorts of identification with it. So who are you? Go ahead, prove your illegal name, because you can't. And it's all designed to keep you in absolute dishonor in the universe. And hey, guess what they could do? Put a big hose into the back of your head like in the Matrix and suck your soul dry. It's not the money they're after. That's the emotional attachment that people have. They've got people convinced that a piece of paper. Go ahead, take a pound sterling note and try to spend it in a bar in Kentucky, and you'll see what a pound note is worth there. Better yet, take an Australian dollar and go to Mexico. Or actually, they might take them to Mexico. Take them to France and go into a store and try to buy something with a Australian $10 bill. Look at you and with a head tilt because they have no idea what that is worth. So in their eyes, what is it? It's worthless. Just like a 100-franc note would be worthless in your hands because you don't identify with it. You don't have an emotional attachment. That's why whatever country you live in, you have an emotional attachment to the piece of paper and the funny little pictures on it that matter for you. But as soon as you see something from another country, it's just a pretty piece of paper, isn't it? Now apply that to your own, what you think is money, and you'll understand that it is. It's just paper with a concept behind it. And the longer you buy into it, the longer your soul is getting ripped. So toss that around in your universe for 5 minutes. Start looking at all of the things that you thought were real, and you come to this table, I take a sledgehammer to your illusions. You're all deluded if you think there's value outside of you. That's the hard part for me, because I already know you're perfect. I know you're the most beautiful essence in the universe. And it does get really tired and really old when I have to keep fighting through all the quagmire of emotional shit and garbage, baggage and victim and all the rest of the crap that people bring to this table, their little dramas and the literal dramas. It gets tired, guys. It gets really old.
We've got like an animated thing that's, or something that someone, people can just watch it first before they come on or something. And it'll tell them the whole story in 10 minutes or something. Or we could do or maybe, the Phoenician thing, starter kit. Just play that for the first 10 minutes of the show every day first, and then get into the show.
Yeah, sounds about right. Actually, what I would need to do is put together probably about a 10-minute piece just to really let people know, listen, if you come to this table, I'm going to tell you this right now, guys, you come to this table. I used to say this before shows. It says, you're going to hear truth. And you're going to hear things that are going to resonate with you, and they're going to all of a sudden give you responsibility. And here's your problem. You better either stand in the truth or leave this table once and for all. I'm not here for popularity. I'm here for the if but one shall awaken moment, okay? So, again, I don't care what I have to do to get there. I accept all things. I'm in the arms of creation, and I'm good. I am just peachy with that. And if I have to endure shit and keep doing, I'm going to ask people this. If you listen back to every show over the last year and all of the stuff that's been going on and what have you, ask yourself this. If you were me, would you do it? And if the answer is yes, well done, I love you. And if the answer is no, well, then you might start getting an idea as to the passion there is here and the knowingness. I wouldn't do this. I'm not doing this for the good of my health, guys. Well, actually, I am. In the end, it's perfect because you make yourself immortal. That's cool. That's a neat side fact. Yeah, you get to be immortal. What's that all about? That's pretty appealing to me personally, and I'm pretty motivated. And I'll tell you, if somebody else sees this information and wanted to share the truth, and many people do here, I learned so much here. It's beautiful. I would expect that you would do that the same for me as I'm doing for you. That's all I'm doing. I'm just doing what I would expect you to do for me in a truly unconditional, benevolent, loving manner. Unconditional kind of thing. And that's all. Why? And I hear it every day. Why? I don't know how you do it. Your patience. You're there. I do it because I know. I do it because I know what has to be done, and nothing's going to make me yield. And the day I don't have to do this is the day the universe says, "Good job. Take a break." And that's it. That's it. But I'll tell you, you've got a responsibility to the truth here. You hear truth and you don't stand in it, you're going to get a universal bitch slap. That's a promise. You got an obligation. That's the joy of the truth. It's a catch-22. Yeah, you'll be tested, but you'll have the armor plating of the universe around you versus you'll be tested and you'll be bare-ass naked. You take your pick. I took the armor one. It works. It's pretty cool. Works a treat. So I was going to open Colleen's line, but she dropped off there. Where else? Jump in, guys.
It's just Lotus here. Hi, everyone at the table.
Hey,
hello.
Yeah, aloha. I've been there just about every day, twice on Tuesday, but I've just been sitting back taking everything in. And yes, I've got it. And every time I hear or read about White, Wayne, your little one is an amazing child. It's just amazing. And so, thanks to her and all that she has done, we don't have no choice but to just wake the hell up and get it right. And by damn it, George, I got it.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. If a 7-year-old can get it, Oh, we got some sound going on.
Too true.
Yeah, Colorado.
Oh, someone's talking in the background. I guess my little announcement in the beginning wasn't too clear. Okay.
Hey, I didn't like that last shit. Oh no, that shit. Hey,
all right, one sec. I know where that's coming from. There we go. There we go. Witness, do me a favor, man. Mute your mic out when you're going to have a conversation, bud. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. We got 26 minutes, and then before we roll over, I'll roll over for a little bit tonight. But hey, I got a bit of catching up to do, and I'd like to get caught up. I can do that tonight.
Yeah, check out the singing plants. Go check out if you got time. We'll get that happening.
Oh, what was that? Check out what?
The singing plants.
Oh, the singing plants. Yeah, that's on my list. Oh yeah, that's on my list.
Maybe you can sing that new song you're going to come up with.
Hey, it might actually have some of the melody line already in it. So that's kind of what I'm curious about now, because I have the chorus concept already playing in my head. So it's going to be interesting to hear that.
Nice tune.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to do a quick shout out here. We got 25 minutes, and then we'll pick up where we left off here. Guys, we get 25 minutes. If you want to get in, there's room for no one. The board's full. How do you know why I'm bothered?
I'll get off.
No. It's all good.
Nah.
No, you stay. You hang in there. It's
all
good.
I feel like Ciao.
Well, no, it's no. I mean, the board.
Someone else get in. Ciao.
Oh, there's room. It's okay. There's room. It's all good.
I'm going to listen on BDR. I'll listen on what's the name. Get off the board. Someone else can go. Ciao.
Okay. Well, you see, here's the problem. When you go off the board, we go into the recording. You can't hear the show unless you're on the board. So hang on.
We're infinite, man. I'll listen to it again later. No worries. I'll play it all day, every day.
I know, but you're here talking, and this is what I want more than anything. The ones
I know, but a
listening
lot of people might
say,
get that motherfucker off.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Here's the game, guys. I want to hear more people talking at this table. So let me just do the quick shout-out. A complete waste of time because the board is full anyway. But here we go. You can call in at 60. I got a better idea. Let's sound like a real professional radio-type bitch, Kate. Let's do that. Okay. Here we go. I'm looking for it. Oh, man. You should try living in his head for, 5 minutes. See if you can handle it.
I've got to say, do you really need a computer? I mean, you got to. If you need a computer, the universe is going to get one for you. Because it sounds like you're having problems with this computer.
No, the computer's great. It's I'm fine. Okay. It's just I get overloaded, and I've got this little HP. This is my beautiful HP Mini, right? It matches my skirts, man. It's awesome.
It's a gym, man. It's all over the place.
And talk about cosmic joke. I said, oh yeah, cool. Kate of Gaia, changing the world on an HP Mini. I love it. It's perfect. Anyway, so here we go. Let me see if this is the right one. I got the right one. Anyway, okay, so for those that do want to call in and not be able to get through, you can call 661-467-2401, or you can Skype in BTR listener 028. Put that in your Skype search. Hit enter. When it comes up, right click, hit call, bring you to the board. We have got for one. That being said, just want to say a great big thank you to Paul Giovanni and the Critical Mass Radio. Special thanks out to the Ninja, Maria, Christy, Clarity, everybody that is doing so much every single day to make this
Their
better
walls are falling. The momentum is now with us. It's our time now. At the most pivotal point in history is Critical Mass Radio, 24/7 Truth Radio. Help us to help you. Please go to www.criticalmassradio.co.uk and subscribe £1, £2 or £3 a month. The critical mass has been reached. We must come together. We must stand together. For ourselves, for each other, for our future generations. criticalmassradio.co.uk. Now, it's our turn.
Indeed, it is our turn, but here's the thing. It's your turn to get on the ride. Stop standing at turnstile. Get in the roller coaster. It's a smooth ride from here. Great points from Kaz. Thank you, hon. You always bring such beautiful things. So I'm just going to read what she wrote. It's beautiful. Maybe we can think of it this way. These are the programs, and they come to us so we can help them break themselves down. And it's a gift to help them. They come to us because we have the power now to shine the light so they can see. Yes, bring your busted ego programs, your delusions that have been so deeply ingrained in you by a psychopathic society and an insane control system by a most malevolent of forces. Bring us your weary and your weak. We have the Thor hammers to smash them here. And we do so happily and we do so willingly and with the utmost benevolence of unconditional love. I go right back to it. If it takes people to hate me to get this, I don't care. Because, well, what is hate? Just another mirror of love. And they're both the same to me. I don't care what it takes to get everyone home. I'm in. I am in. So all in. And that's for all of humanity. This is not just a local family. This is all of humanity. We go home. So thanks, Kaz. That was a beautiful way to describe it. Same story, beautiful perspective. It's awesome. Yes, and our good friend Michael, I'm hoping to have a chat with him tomorrow. Or actually, he's actually going in tomorrow. I know Richard was on his way up to hang out with him to go and have some fun. It's going to be a very profound day tomorrow because this guy knows who he is. And I've had many occasions to chat with him, and there are very few people I know that could go and stand the way he can. And if I was a betting girl, I'd wager this lasting minutes. Before the whole thing crashes and they run, right? Again, I go back to Pa, now remember, this is a guy that's a part-time cop, working and helping to awaken his brother in the system. Not that I read right off out of the gate. He had at least 5 attorneys backpedaling today just by asking them if using the legal name is fraud. And I even had one of them tell me to quit listening to you. Imagine that. Gee, imagine that. Yeah, I know they know who I am. I didn't care if I knew their name. I just wanted to make goddamn sure they knew mine. Let's dance. Just like that. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Now, I'm going to check Witness's mic, see if they got it calmed down there. Yeah. Witness, you there? Okay, must be away from the computer. Rebecca, I'm going to open your mic again if there's music playing.
Hi there. Hey.
Okay, I'm going to make a deal with you, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
You ready? The deal is this, because on every occasion that you've called in, I've opened your mic, and there's always been music or guitar or something going on. So I'm going to ask you, if you put your hand up, please do the courtesy to be ready, and I don't have to worry about muting you because I don't like muting people. Fair?
No problem.
Okay, there we go. So what's on your mind tonight, hon?
I'm just happy listening at the moment, actually.
Oh, you feel like you're in a zone. Good. No, you sound like you're in a beautiful zone. Thank you for bringing that zone here. It's beautiful. Anybody else? Jump in. Okay, well, I guess that's that then. Okay.
Oh, here, you can have an early night.
Sounds like it. And Rebecca, just so you know, you've got a very, very hissy mic. There's a hiss on your end. So if you're not talking, mute out on your end, or I can mute here. It's up to you. Just to let you know, it is really loud. It's loud in my head, so I don't know what it's like for you guys.
Yeah, you can hear it. But, yeah.
Okay. It's all good. It's all good. I'll solve it one way or the other, so I just like to give people the control of their own mics. So, 559. Hello.
Hi, I had to unmute it.
I know, that's why I just wait. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you. See these beautiful people that know how to use a mute on a phone. Unbelievable. Thank you very much.
I just learned how. I didn't know my phone had a mute button on it.
Actually, they do. You just got to find it. It's usually hidden as a sub part of another button. So have a look. It's there.
I did. I had to look.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. I've just been listening in, and I caught part of what you said about the spellings and, you can create your own language. I'm a triplet, and there's 2 boys and myself, and my mom said that we had a language all of our own. We would sit and talk for hours, and the language kind of just disappeared after we entered into public schools.
Funny that, eh?
Yeah.
You came in,
so,
hon, you came in a perfect trinity. Do you know that? 2 boys and a girl.
Yes.
That's the perfect trinity.
Yes. So, I just wanted to share that with you, and how, the magic of spelling and the language, and I wish I could remember the language. I pulled one word out, and it was, bear with me here, it was Plequilio, which means peacock.
How cool is that?
In our little language, yeah. But it was, strange sounding words. But my mom said that we would talk for hours and hours amongst ourselves with our own little language.
It almost sounds like a mating call of a male peacock, Plequilio. Oh, well.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't hear either. Go ahead, go again, Bendy. There was just a delay on your end. That's all.
It reminds me of one of the calls of the male peacock, Psychopathy. On high, it sounds a lot like what the male would do if he's a bit pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't know if it just hit me. I think, hang on, that sounds like what a male would. Yeah, Psychopathy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was the sound. Oh, that's awesome.
It makes more than one sound, but this is one of them, yeah?
Yes, yeah. And I guess it's a sound we related to.
Yeah?
So, that resonated with us. So, I just wanted to share that, and that's all.
Cool.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, you were the first of triplets to ever call in. Thank you. It's beautiful. What's your...
Wow.
Anytime I ask for GPS coordinates, I'm asking, what do you normally get called? So what's your GPS coordinate so I can find the magnetic electric point of view?
I'm Becky.
Becky. Okay, excellent. That's a nice GPS. Cool.
Or Rebecca. I noticed you had another Rebecca on there.
Yeah, we got 2 on tonight.
Yes. So, synchronizing.
Rebecca squared, baby. All good. I love it. Hey, I was hoping to hear from Randy tonight, but I want to read the post that he put in the Lighthouse. You guys ready for this? It's pretty cool.
Yep.
I thought. I didn't really see all of it, but I kind of know where it's going. Anyway, this is what Randy wrote. My entire family is resolved that I am crazed for living the way we do. Tonight we are to go to dinner to gather for my birthday and parents' anniversary. My dad tells me that his granddaughters called and were in tears because they won't be attending due to my actions with their dad's lawyer 2 weeks ago. They are sold that you don't talk to a lawyer that way. He's not your lawyer. Well, true, he's a lawyer and wants to rape my brother. Time for this soul to figure out his path. They are convinced that my brother will lose the case and thousands of dollars due to my not consenting to be the legal name. Wow. Do you see how corrupted people are? You know, I think they call that, what is that, the Stockholm Syndrome? Where you fall in love with with that which is killing you?
I was going to say, how far do they need to go to suck the jury's cock? I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Open butt cheeks. Bend over.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just use the 80 grit garnet. Wrap it up with that, and let's. Wrap a couple of coils of barbed wire around that while you're at it.
Yeah, well, forget the Vaseline then.
Well, no, don't worry. I'd be the least of your concerns at that point.
Sure.
You had me at barbed wire. Oh man, but
pack of wolves, man.
Yeah, but here, let me ask all of you this question: are you seeing the insanity of this place more and more every day?
Yeah.
Crazy,
it's getting boring. It's getting so bloody boring.
But you flip it, and it's funny too. It's a comedy in a way.
Oh,
Don't take it too serious, you know.
No. It's just the same comedy every day is boring too, you know. It winds down to the same things all the time.
Yeah. Can't laugh all the time. Yeah.
I can't watch TV anymore. I cannot watch TV anymore. I used to be a big UFO fan, and now I see right through it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the see that is projected through the programs doesn't even work anymore. that makes me giggle. I think, oh my God, this is insane.
For me, I reckon just get out and about. You know, like I mean, if you do a bit of gardening around the house, just do stuff around the house, see friends or enemies or anyone. You know, just a tourist in your own town, something. You know? And
exactly.
I paint.
You know,
I just create my own.
Paint's cool.
I'm a creator. I don't sit around and wait to consume.
No.
I like a movie every now and then, but that's more for the anagogic information they're broadcast and, just to download, help the downloading up a notch every now and then to look in a couple of mirrors. But I'd rather just be creating my from within, and painting is the deepest from within I can come. That is my most...
any craft. Any craft. Crafts in general. My grandpa weaved baskets out of bamboo and olive branches. Awesome. He taught me how to do that. That's not hard, you know. Or make a kite or something. I don't know. You know, pat the cat. Don't kick it.
Yeah. Talk to the cat. I mean, you'll be amazed.
Oh yeah. They talk to us when they got to go for a shit. You know, let me out. All right, you know.
Sending shit, and we're going. What's he looking at me for?
Because he wants to do his shit.
He's talking to you, man.
Got some business to take care of. Now here, 100 people survey, top 6 answers on the board, and the question was this. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
It's Family Feud is on in the afternoon when I go out to coffee. It's funny as hell, man. It is it is comedy.
Still on TV.
I know. Well, it's not. Rich Dawson died years ago, but it's the guy's actually pretty good. He's pretty funny. But as I'm making coffee, whatever, I'm listening, and here check this shit out. This was it's comedy to me. I look at it and I go, I'm gauging what is society at right now. Oh my God, that bad, eh? Okay, 100 people surveyed, top 6 answers on the board. They were asked this question: what could you not live without in your home? Guess what the number one answer? Yeah, guess what the number one answer was? Hang on, just a sec. Yeah, you got it. It was TV. Now check this out. I wanted to set this up. You blew it. Now hang on. Stop jumping into the joke, man.
All right.
It's fucking hilarious.
I'll shut up.
It's okay.
Say those things offline. So.
It's all good. Okay, so visualize this. The first thing that came to mind for me was, toilet.
Nah, I'll go outside.
Well, no, but do you know what I'm saying, though? I'm just talking in... don't you think a toilet would be more important that in a house than a TV?
Or power or electricity, so I can cook my food or shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, actually, one of the logical other ones was refrigerator. Well, yeah. So, and I thought that was good. Keep your food, right? But no. TV. The good part is only 22 absolute fucking morons said TV. The rest of them had variations.
Why 22? Isn't something with the number? Sorry.
I know, that's why I'm bringing this up. But here, let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look at it though. 22 idiots. That means, look at that, boys and girls. There are 78% smart, ready to shift people. So look how small that number was as the number one. I thought it was beautiful, good and evil mirror. It was perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like it. We did just so you guys know, 6 minutes to roll over. And we got, just let everybody know, Mark, your mic's open. 602, yours is open. Borean, hi. And Liberty, hi. All your mics are open, so feel free to jump in here. And we'll go with for as long as it's fun to go. And, entertain me, guys. Let's play. Let's get real.
Hey, Borean. I got a response to Paul's letter, or not Paul's letter, but Randy's letter, right? Your family is, for me, it's like the toughest trial you'll have to face is facing truth with your family. And I just wanted to say, Randy, I'm right there with you, brother, and that once you can face your family and just face, the people you love most with this, that anything else becomes very easy thereafter. I mean, you can face the devil and it's not going to fucking matter after you face your family. And that's all. I just wanted to chip in with that. Yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Because here, let me put it in a nutshell for you guys. If any of you think for 1 second that because in my situation, the 3 most precious people in my life that were in pure bliss with me the night we got kidnapped and are completely estranged now, my daughters and Sue, if you think for 1 second you're going to have more sway over me in trying to control or manipulate me than that, good luck. Because that is the ultimate test pass, because they are the biggest motivation I've got. Think about that.
That's it.
You cannot top that in my world. Sorry. My test was an uber test. It took me a while to figure that out. You've heard me over the last couple or 3 years, right? 2 years anyway. And I've had some very emotional nights about it. Ripping through myself to get this shit cleared, to figure it out. And then finally, last Christmas, literally washing my hands of it all. I would say go back to December 21st to Christmas and listen to the shows around that time, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. That was my final letting go and really, really coming clean with it within myself. Borean, you're absolutely right. Tough test you will face. And typically, the most dangerous parasites are in your family. Because, I mean, if you're going to get trapped, if I was playing the game and I was going to trap you, the hardest test I would give you is the ones that you think that are supposed to unconditionally love you. It'd be a perfect place to hide a parasite, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Trojan. Bloody Trojan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Check out Sucker Punch. That movie. That's a freaky movie. That's an analogy of that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I just realised that their disappointment in my life choices is still programmed as well, and I keep having to remind myself of that because it feels so fucking real, but it's not. It's programmed. Well, I think I should post it and stick that everywhere. Someone else's disappointment is programmed, not my failing.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Mark. Hey, welcome.
Kate, I got this word that came up. Jinx. Jinx or Jynx.
Jinx, yeah.
Can we break that one down a minute?
Jinxie.
Well, again,
Jinxie
the J could be masquerading as the hidden G, right? Genie
Correct.
X, the genie of life. Jin X, right?
Alcoholics like gin.
So the hex of the infinitely myself I in life or creation. X, chi, ki, Ariel, goddess, darkness, full, complete creation. Yeah, it's a hex. Well, what is Jinx, right? Remember, G came in to mimic a few letters. It came in to mimic the K and the J, and that's only two? Yeah, the K and J, because it has a J and a G sound, right? K, J, G, G. It's a very, very, very subtle difference, but I could just soften the K to make it sound like anything. See, that was a K. That wasn't a G.
I'm thinking voodoo, Jinx, voodoo too, maybe voodoo doll, Jinx.
Well, voodoo in French is you, and do
pin.
English, right?
Stick the pin in.
Yeah, voodoo. Do ya? Do you?
Yeah,
do, right?
Do you? Yeah, voodoo. Do you?
Hey, can't you say that basically every script you make before you act is a jinx?
That's the
play
problem.
is jinxed, Binti.
Yeah, the minute you think you're going to start controlling the play is the minute you're jinxing it yourself. That's a Luciferian arrogance, thinking that you can outcreate creation.
It's like rolling the dice and maybe thinking you're going to get a 6 and get a 9. Fuck no.
Yeah, the whole concept of luck is Luciferian, right?
Yeah.
You're doubting creation.
So that song, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. That's not a bad song, too.
It's a great song. So there it is. Now look at the governments, especially here in Canada, they're going crazy with these casinos.
I remember
ching.
I remember as a kid in Australia where the teenage kids at school would play dice games in the alleys, and they'd call it "come in spinner." And
spinner.
Name itself, they said, well, you just called in a spin, so everything you're creating now is chaos. So you're not going to, gambling is a sure bet on losing.
I got sucked into that for ages, man. Fucking hell.
Yeah. It's an old game.
Don't we all? Living in Australia, we've got the highest percentage of gamblers in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. We bet against each other just on anything. I'll bet you. That's normal talk, man. That's normal talk, man. Crazy shit, isn't it? Yeah, look through it in Australia. Oh, yeah, definitely. I've got to agree. Yeah, gambling. Ooh, it's almost in your blood. Yeah, freaky shit, man. Like here. Takes a while to get it out of your system. Anyway, that's for sure. Yeah.
Hey,
anyway,
I watched.
When you do.
I watched my hometown of Phoenix, Arizona transform once they allowed casinos on the Indian reservations. There's casinos all over that fucking place now. It's nuts. Yeah, I just thought it's funny. Anyways.
Yeah, well, nowadays, not a big deal, is it?
Yeah, that's the truth.
But the beautiful thing, we're here. We're on a sure bet. We don't need to bet anymore.
No.
We're all in. We're all in, aren't we? Aren't we the bows of Babylon all in the hall, the thing there, and all? Aren't we all in there?
Yeah.
Together? Yeah, whatever.
And aren't we doing it for the kids?
Yes.
All of us.
Yeah. So
they're doing it for us, then we're doing it for them at the moment. Look, we're doing it.
Well, with my son, who's somewhat like Randy's family, who totally feels like I've abandoned him, but really, I know my long-term goal is to do it for all of humanity, which includes my grandchildren and him and every living being. So it gives me the courage when he rejects me at this point, hoping is not even the right word I want to use, knowing that in the long run, all of us are making a big, big difference for all of humanity. And that just keeps me going when it gets tough.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, we'll definitely bring it to the table. There's no question there. And just to let everybody know, we are in the recording part, obviously, a couple of minutes in. Where to begin? Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, it's Galen.
Galen, how are you?
Hey. Good, how are you?
Good.
Hi, everybody.
You're the 602, right?
I'm in Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yay,
well,
Phoenix, represent.
Yep.
Represent.
Hey, I think it's important for everybody to call in, and so people can hear voices.
Yeah.
So
nice.
That's kind of what I'm doing.
I agree.
Yeah, turn Facebook into the phonic book. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, talking about family, my son and I are kind of at odds right now about this whole thing, and he's got an 8-year-old daughter that I've been trying to talk to, but
no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
no, he doesn't. Hey, no, hang on. Guys, let me finish here. This is just critical. This is critical. No, he doesn't. He thinks he does. What he has is use of an 8-year-old slave that he sold to the system. You might want to put it to him that way. He doesn't have a daughter. Yeah. He has use of.
Right.
Just
anyway,
stating the facts.
So and I'm doing what I can. I don't get to see her very often, but anyway, it helps to also connect with your local people that are at this table, because when your family doesn't step up for you to be there, who else do you have? It just really helps to meet people from the table in your local area.
Oh, absolutely, hon.
So I think people should search out others.
Well, that's exactly why I give out my Skype, hon, so that people can, and I do it every day. It's like people show up, and I add them to we got the 2 rooms, pretty
but
packed.
I mean meeting in person, meeting somebody
I know that. This is how I'm trying to get people together.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing your best.
Yeah, so I mean, this is what we are doing, hon, and this is where we do the shout-out for those that are listening in the Phoenix area. If there's somewhere that if you want to do a shout-out yourself, hon, to let people know where you are and maybe a place that's normal, like familiar for people to meet at, and just do it and get it done. That's why.
Sure. Well, I have. David Taylor and I met up. Yeah.
There you go.
It's just made all the difference in the world. That's what I'm saying.
So, and hey, Kaylin. Hey, I want to thank you so much. I mean, you are connected to me too, and you and David and all of us, you are home. This is your family, and I just want to thank you for standing in truth and doing what you have done for me down in Phoenix. You blew my brother's mind when you dropped off those documents. He actually called my mom, wondering if that was my mom that dropped those documents off. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
So
no problem.
My
pleasure.
So like you implanted a super important seed into a human being that has a lot of power within the system of itself. And,
absolutely.
And certainly he always has had his heart in the right place, and he feels even what he's doing now is the right thing with taking care of the women, the men and women in uniform that fight for their lives every day on the street and what have you. And
right.
He will search the truth. I know this. I know the universe has our back on this one. He will search out the truth with all this, and once he finds out what the truth, I know that he is a man of honor, and he'll stand in it, And
wow.
I just want to thank you very much.
And, hey, no problem.
And I thought that I might move back to Phoenix this spring, but something has, kind of happened here in Colorado to where I've kind of had a change of heart, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do, honestly. But I'm coming to this crossroads of my living situation here, where I'm going to have to do something, and it's a good thing, because the thoughts that I'm having, I don't want to quite express those yet, because I don't quite have them. It's not all thought out. I still have some more meditation and stuff to do on that, but it's just exciting. I just feel like as the world seems to crumble down on you harder as you stand in the truth, it's just an opportunity for you to rise even higher above it. And so I'm actually kind of looking forward to whatever my cab driver has in store for me next, man.
There you go.
Hey, I'm ready to take it on. Yeah. But thank you, Kaylin. Thank you very much. Sure. And David, too, if you're listening, too.
Yeah, and here's something else, just to tie both this together with you guys and what's really been happening. Look at Alveda and Barb hooking up. They got the hook up for the first time, fair distance apart. As of today, Richard in Florida is hooking up with Mike in Maryland, and is going into court with him tomorrow to stand with him. And you've heard both Richard and Michael talking at the table here. So what you're seeing now are people merging together. I've got Phil, who I've never met, texted me through Facebook and is going to be in the area Friday, and of course gave him a cell phone number to hook up. And you're absolutely right, Kaylin, as far as what we need to do, but it's already happening. You see, this is the joy of this. It's happening without having to do, because this is exactly the next step that's needed. This is where you're going to start seeing the physical aspects of people. The table is getting bigger and bigger. This is why you're going to start seeing this. And the larger we grow here, the more you're going to see this in your area. You can't have over 1 million listeners and not have people starting to connect. Yes, we have a lot of the same people, calling in and talking all the time, and that's great. I wish everyone would call in and do that. But there is a stable core of people that are willing to speak up, are willing to be a voice, the voice, other than mine. And this is why I wish more people would call in, would speak up. Because when you're sharing your stories of the same things that we're talking about here, the power of what we know and what we're trying to share with others to give them power back, there are no words for this. The power that this table has and is willing and not willing, geez, we can't give the truth away, and it's the very thing that sets people free. And how many times have you heard, I've used the allegory of handing someone a 100-ounce bar of gold, here you go, and then they start beating you to death with it. It's like, what are you doing? Boom, 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 right? But that's all program. That's not the person. That's program. And I go back to Kaz, what she had wrote that I read out. Exactly it. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to bust those programs apart. And it's not important anymore that it's me talking. What is important is that it's we talking. So it's not just coming out of the mouthy tranny. Yeah, okay, we've heard it all before. Yeah, we heard you live. We did by Judge Vows. See, that's not. I'm there, and that's a given. I already know that. And there are many of you that are there already. I know that. That's a given. And it's the ones like you that are already there that are speaking up, that are making this dance more real for others. Oh, well, yes, you got a few people that are dancing with Kate. Maybe they're onto something. Remember, you're the power, not me. It is the one that agrees to the dance as being a good idea that brings the rest of the dancers on the floor. Not me. I'm the crazy tranny out dancing in the middle of the floor. I have been for years. It's when we finally get to the agreement that, hey, you know what, that seems like a pretty cool little dance, and I've got my own version of it. So you bring it out on the dance floor. And all of a sudden, just like that video, everyone's sitting around going, there's your peer pressure working in reverse. Well, I don't want to be left out. I'm going to get in on this shit. And that's what is happening right now, is people are finally wanting to get in on the truth. Yeah, it's not an easy pill to swallow. It's a tough one. It's excruciatingly painful emotionally if you let it be that. We've all been through it. That's not to say that others can't get through it as well. And now that we're on the other side of it, it's laughable. See, that's the thing, though. Once you climb to the top of that mountain, you kind of look down. Fuck, that wasn't so hard. But you had some really crazy times. You had some slips down on the gravel. You fell a couple of times, thinking that you're going to go right down to the bottom off the cliff, but you end up landing on a ledge of knowledge that you already knew. It was stable. It was there, always there. You never fall below the last thing you truly know, right? And from there, you can keep climbing again. And I've said that to people before. If you ever have these moments of doubt, we all do. I do. We all do. Go back to that one thing you know. Always go back to that one absolute truth that you know and stand there for a little bit. Catch your breath. The magic of shh. And be peaceful. Be at that 0 point of truth, that absolute knowing of self, that absolute knowing of truth. Because we all have one. And our ledges are a lot higher now than they were a year ago, a month ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So start having a look at your ladder and how far you have actually climbed, and you will be, I hope, more than astonished at how far up this ladder and mountain you are in comparison to the grand scheme of things. At this point, I will take the curtsy and the bow to you in the same way that I hope that you will look in your own mirror and bow and curtsy to yourself in complete reverence of having gotten here and in gratitude that you did. And that's all it really takes. You guys are perfect. Hate to keep telling you. I know it's a lot to live up to, but you already are that. The rest of it, that's just literal. That's just garbage getting in the way, mucking up your windscreen and slowing down your 308 GTS Ferrari Spirit that you got racing down the Autobahn. Full bore.
Beautiful. Love to hate tough. Love to hate tough. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Like I said, whatever it takes, I think for me more than anything, and Bendy's hit on it a few times. There are points where it's just boring. It's boring. Can we just do something else?
Oh, you mean the lit shit's boring? Yeah, the literal shit's boring. The magic's nice. The magic's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The new colours, cool. But celebrating Christmas for the 45th climb, that's boring.
Who even knows about it? Christmas is on this time. We don't even talk. Whatever it was.
Just an example,
There is no Easter bunny.
Oh my God, I'm shocked. I'm traumatized. No Easter bunny.
That nice mall scene. Remember that mall scene? Those crazy dudes do in the movie thing. There is no Easter bunny to that kid. He's crying.
I have an email to share if you guys want.
Beautiful.
Sure.
I love when you read stuff out. It saves me reading. I think that's what people want. People hate reading. Maybe we're going to have this app that just reads Gaia words out for people when they click it. It just reads it out for them.
See, that's what I'm going to do, guys. I actually want to hook up with Marie. She's actually not too far from me, so I'm hoping to hook up with her, grab coffees or whatever, and maybe get a few of the girls together and go have a girls' night out. Because there's actually quite a few people within very close range of me. Excuse me, which is kind of cool, actually. But anyway, here's one that came in from Eugenie. Brand new contact. I just added her to my email. Open in line. Gotta love it when someone's right in the pocket. I fucking love you and the table more than I can say. I hope you like this. Okay, Eugenie, let's have a look. But guess what, hon? I fucking love you and the table too. In a story called Breath, the Night Navigator appears from time to time, always at the helm of the SS Pluto, which right now is running the confluence of three powerful ocean streams. The streams are vigorous, strangely familiar, reassuring, disturbing, challenging. The navigator steers the craft among them, catching each swell as it emerges. What a relief after the confusing waters of the dark rift. Sometimes the streams in the ocean reflect in the sails, causing all sorts of readjustments. Catch it right, and the rigging hums with deep satisfaction. The streams tell their stories, hour after hour, on into silence. Recognizing the call of mission, they blend and merge strangely with the navigator's 1987 story. The old salt's feet, to which descend sensations of everything heard, bristle with contrasting, harmonizing vibrations that travel the deep silver stream through the inquisitive genitals, up the spine, digesting through the swelling chest, into the places where Aldebaran and Regulus burn on this present course, igniting recognition in the seat of Isis, its signature reminiscent of the trident, which advises extreme attention to that which turns you on. Sense, sex, sensibility. Remember the destination. In short, do not be distracted. There is nothing like standing barefoot in a thrumming wood song. Hair like antlers, like lightning. At night, the beat-up ship cleaves the luminescent fleece at a rate of knots, adding in its wake another shade to skein emerging from the weird sister's dedicated work in this most interesting of all oceans, which may just be to keep us mad, though in the most good and true beautiful way. So the first character to arrive in the old salt's night whispered story is of the far wind arriving on dry land, miles from Neptune's realm, laden with fishy, spicy, exotic smells. The far, Psychopathy, the old salt thinks affectionately of this great breath of a wind as Zeph. This is poetry, guys. I love this. This wind, the omniscient and intimately intrusive main actor, sweeps in on a parched landscape at great altitude. Here, the wind turns round and round, like a great hound looking for a settling spot, dragging newspapers, plastic bags, leaves and dust, twisting them in the cloudless sky above an insignificant town in the middle of nowhere with an oil refinery nearby. On the ground, the air is still like a bated breath, holding the pent-up chaos of archaic rural, modern farming, and petrochemical consumer fest. The wind carries a vast treasure of fragrances and frequencies from far away. It mulls over the qualia of breathed interactions held in the organic library of subtlety. Recently, to whale spume, bull roarer, panther, chrism, jism, cries, whispers, industry song, new frequencies find way into the imagined soundtrack, and a voice that has an uncanny resemblance to the second actor in the story. This second actor, or second character to enter the arena, is Lucas, tall, gangly, long blonde hair. He is perched high in a lightning-scorched tree, scanning the wind's high-level display. With his flappy dark overcoat, he's a hungry crow intent on the sky, while the landscape around him slumbers in sand and brush, gritty and hot. Lucas is one of the local liminally mad persons living in degrees of isolation, doing obscure things, going on inexplicable missions into town and up mountains where elders live. Lucas used to be a somebody in town, with a good job at the refinery in marketing, a juicy wife and 2 children. Then he was fired for leaked information that created problems for the refinery and the PR department. There aren't too many jobs available outside of the refinery, so his comfortable life rumbled. It was a long, painful disintegration of former respectability. He went off the rails a few times. First, too much drink, then a hippie stage brought about by a visiting friend. He started to look, dress, and sound different. He went off the rails so much that his wife Rosa left him, for his ex-boss of all people, and took the children with her. This situation clearly burns his ass. Lucas lives halfway up the only bit of mountain in the landscape in a house where Sarah used to live. She regularly checks that the trees around the house are healthy and not being damaged by the scallywag's mobile contraptions. The trees are thorn, willow, laurel, oak, blue gum, ginkgo, bilboa, yellowwood, elder. There are no pylons anywhere near. Cunningly contrived instruments for the wind create a theater of soft aeolian sounds. An enormous rock rests against one side of the house. Lucas makes a bit of cash selling his beautifully crafted mobiles and extraordinary kites. He also makes a pittance and tips from delivering Sarah's freshly baked bread. That's it. He lives frugally, small, in the eyes of his family, former friends and acquaintances, without dignity and balls, and talking shit nobody wants to hear. To make the humiliating fall of Lucas more poignant, he can be seen from around 10 every morning riding a meandering path through town on an antique bicycle with a large wicker basket on the front, in which Sarah's bread tremor in brown paper bags. Every day he peddles to at least 6 regular customers, and then the odd extra. He is often seen, and by many. His family, especially his teenage son and daughter, suffer great shame because of this bicycle. It makes being around Lucas awkward. So what is he doing up a tree in the middle of a fierce day? No shade, blistering winter sun. Watching a high wind playing with dirt? Does he even notice the small red car in the very far distance kicking up dust devils on the farm road to town? He looks pissed, sticking to the sweat on his cheek. He dismounts the tree and meanders off, away from the tree towards his place in the far distance. For Actor 3, we go to the sports car to meet the girl with the voice, notes, and melodies in her blood. She also looks pissed, especially after a dust devil pours a whole bunch of crap into her ear and her car. Thalia, as she was born, a.k.a. Leah, Desi, and Juno. Pissed in 3 different chords of being, she has a dissonant look about her. Lonely gifted music fairy, brash bar singer, minor record company created pop star. See part of why she is pissed off. A musician who has never released one of her own songs and must instead sing and dance awful lascivious crap, because that's what the market wants. Or else she's plain just not talented enough. A failure wound that certain people like scratching at again and again. She's on her way to town, where a few people remember her as Leah, Maddie's daughter. Maddie lives abroad, but still keeps her house in town, which is where Leah is going. Because her career is a mess and her producer boyfriend is an asshole, and she just has to get away to get herself together. She's also been doing far too much partying. The wind slows down, but keeps meandering high above the town and district the whole afternoon into evening. Then it creeps down towards the trees on the hill, a breath so soft it hardly moves a leaf. It finds its way into the house where Lucas lives. It crawls along the walls where kites hang, along the work table, tools, string, glue, bamboo, paper, feathers, gossamer. It examines everything in the room, books, pictures, instruments crafted for wind. Behind a curtain it finds a bed and a computer workstation. The wind creeps up to Lucas, who is bent over intently painting the wings of a splendid swan vane. The wind stirs a strand of hair covering his left ear. Lucas freezes. His eyes widen and he falls over backwards, chair and all, out cold on the floor with his legs still hooked over the chair. And from this moment the wind gathers all its power, races down the hill and blasts the town with roof-rattling gusts, breaking windows, smashing, ripping, tearing, washing off washing lines, scattering cats and chickens. Later that evening, Lucas makes his way down the wind-decorated landscape. A pair of bloomers sticks to a bush, challenging Lucas to collect it, guess its owner, and then making an embarrassing exchange. He leaves the bloomers to enjoy the evening breeze on the thorn. Lucas turns into the Amber Light, a local drinking hole. A beery crowd talking wind damage, work, watching rugby on TV. On the other side of the noise, off a short corridor entrance to the blue smog, an outside area where smoking takes place, and talk that doesn't involve sports. Godwin is the barman here, early, dark of skin, subtle humor. There is something conspiratorial in their interaction. Is this it? You think it's here? And someone interesting blew in just before. In the corner close to his favorite table, Lucas sees Thalia for the first time. Godwin winks at Lucas, nods towards Thalia, and puts a CD on. A minor pop hit. Thalia cringes and gives Godwin a look. Later, paying for her meal, she says to Godwin, "So you do remember me. I see your mother in you. Welcome home." Leaving his drink untouched, Lucas follows Thalia into the night. They both head uphill, out of town, taking a shortcut through the churchyard. That was one of the crappiest songs ever. How do you tolerate the cheapness of it all? Thalia is gobsmacked. Oh, well, fuck you, guru of sound, whoever you think you are. Just that phrase in your virgin voice, that's a song. Much better than any you've recorded. I know what you should be singing. I don't give a flying fuck what you think I should be doing with my voice. Thalia huffs and stalks off in silence, walking fast until she turns into her gate. Lucas trails behind, stands still in the distance to see her going into the house, a light coming on. He walks on, hands in pockets, deep in thought. The wind pushes him from behind, driving uphill past his house to where the ravine begins. A harp, A great big gorgeous harp played by the wind in the secret depths of the ravine with a certain voice, a certain tone. And so the story begins. If you like it, I will tell you more, but only if you really, really want to hear it. In love, Jeannie. Oh, absolutely, hon. What a joy to read that. That was pure music. Thank you. Eugenia, please. I would love to read more of this. How'd you guys like that?
Very good.
Very
liked it. Very good.
Beautiful.
Were you picking out your parts of the story as we were going? I was. Any of the characters relate to you?
How about all of them?
Yeah, they all do. And who was Lucas? That's you. Right? That's the crucifixion, and it's beautiful. What a beautiful allegory. Well, this to me sounds like a true story. It feels like it. So I would love to hear the rest of the story.
Definitely.
Wouldn't you?
Yes.
So that one gets flagged, and I have to make sure I do respond to people, but I want to make sure. Where can I flag it? Well, the puppy's barking. Yay! Okay. Oh, you got to see Bentley. He's awesome. Fun as all get out. Just a puppy. Here we go. Let me just flag that so I have it. All right. So there you go. It's funny too because the Italian, the music aspect really resonated with me as well, and I know exactly what she's talking about, and that was pretty much how I felt right at the very beginning of my walk, in that I would not, I couldn't, for many reasons, do other people's songs, cover songs, mainly because I honestly couldn't do them the justice I felt they deserved, and mainly because my vocal range never worked for most of the songs I really liked unless I played them in my own key, my own chord form. So it was very subtle. It was never a big difference. Like when I'm listening to Styx, the vocals are right at my low to high break point, right? So it's a pain in the ass. I mean, I can sing right along with it, but I got to be cranking it to do it, to get enough air to hit those notes. So it's very interesting, but that's why I, for obvious reasons, became a writer, and guess I had a bit of a knack for it. I just stuck to it, and I think it's time to get back to writing some fun stuff. Don't you think?
Well, the fact that you're starting to think about writing even is a major shift as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah. Again, I talked about that before, and we've had our music nights, and I enjoy those on occasion, actually. Probably do another one soon. But for me, it is... you see, try to put this in the mirror. I'm going to share this perspective with you, and hopefully you can see the contrast that I'm speaking of. And there's no emotion in this. I'm just trying to show the contrast. Imagine having a gift, and you think it's really cool, and you know what you're doing with it is for others, and it's just and you get such a rush out of putting smiles on people's faces or bringing a tear to their eye because it resonated so deeply. It gave them something that they could relate to within it, again making it their song, only to find that most precious, most powerful of gifts in all of its power and glory in terms of family and friends and everything else was absolutely worthless. So what's happened now is I've went from the extremes of that to see the contrast, to finally see the value, real value within it. And I'm not quite there yet, but I did say this a while back that it is something I am working on and something that I will confront and am confronting on a daily basis. And you'll know when you hear the next song. That's when I go home.
Well, I can feel the momentum building.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting times we're in, guys. So understand that you are changing this universe. Yes, you are.
Well, Well, all I hear is a song when you talk anyway. You know, you're always singing anyway. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful song we sing daily. You know, it might not be in tune every day, maybe. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But that's the thing too. We come here and we share in the symphony, and you bring your note, and Bindi brings. Everyone brings their own note to the table, and then we get into this beautiful accordance, accord dance, and
accordanza, sì.
Yeah, see. Bene. Love it.
I do like Italian. I mean, it was my first language, and it's so descriptive. When you do feel different when you speak other languages. It's freaky.
Yeah.
Like, even when you go overseas and you don't know the language, but you feel different just hearing it. Even though you don't know what they're saying, but they're smiling at you. Like you say, they might be telling you to get fucked, but it sounds alright.
Yeah, I know,
Feels nice.
Feels good.
Nice. Yeah, and you're just in the...
no
care in the world, and beautiful.
Guess what it is? It's just a sound. The only way the sound has power. Yeah. And the only way a sound or a word can have power is if you give it power. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all of that false power away and putting my own light into it.
You're dancing with it. You're making another dance with it. You're making it into a dance, not into a fight, into a whatever. You know, it's what is that tango thing? Instead of doing that tango where it's aggressive, you do a beautiful one. You know?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the first song that I actually the next song I write will be the first song I will ever write in complete neutral Phoenician. That's cool.
Bellissimo.
Oh yeah. Watch this space.
This should be interesting.
Feel it, and you see it. Just feel it away.
Hey, send me the rhythm tracks. I'll lay down some lead guitar for you. Anytime.
Oh, hey, yeah. Hey, tell you what, that's a good idea, Borean. So, what I think I will do, because I can, I got to find it. I think it's on my other hard drive. But what I can do, excuse me. Actually, I could skip over to my buddy's studio with Pro Tools and just get bare bones tracks put down, and then I can send them to whoever wants to do what they want with it. And if you have any sort of recording, you only need, if you're going to add one thing to it, all you need is run it as a main track and record a second track. I think there's very basic programs out there. I'll have to dig them out and see, but yeah, that would be fun. And then when you're done with it, you send it to someone else, and they add their thing. And wouldn't that be a fun way to let's write a worldwide song, shall we?
Yeah,
that'd be totally fun.
Didgeridoo.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And didgeridoo, and we can. Yeah, so let's. Does that sound like a fun game?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing too, for those that love to sing, have the voice, whatever. Let's do it. Make a beautiful floral arrangement, and I can work some magic when it gets back.
and the more the merrier too. I mean, this includes everybody.
Can I do the cowbell?
Yeah, you can do the cowbell. How did you know that? How did you know this one's going to be an upbeat?
I'll find. If it's only going to be two dings, I'm going to get them in there. Ding.
Put your piece on it, and then it's true co-creation. Well, it's true co-creation anyway. But that see, that's the thing about I loved about playing in bands is that I'd write a piece and always let whoever do their thing, right? Because they could always feel their way through it, and it's just beautiful just to stand back and hear this thing that you've started, and then someone adds their layer to it, and it's like, oh yeah, and then another, oh yeah, and it just keeps getting better and better and better, and
it's beautiful.
So that's a great idea. All right, looks like I've got my work cut out for me. I better get busy. So, but on that note, guys, we got like 36 minutes we rolled in. Thank you for that email, Eugenia. Kept me, or Eugenie, Jeannie, as it was signed off. Yeah, thank you for that. It's definitely kept me on longer than I was going to be tonight, or wanted. That's okay. We can keep going as long as you want, guys. But I'm at this point, I'm in a beautiful, content place, and I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'll open the table here for anyone that wants to, have their last say or whatever, and And then we can roll out. Maybe I'll roll out with a song tonight. And I know the one I'm gonna play.
Please do.
Can anyone guess the song I'm gonna play? Oh, I thought someone was trying to jump in there. Here, let me see. I'll do the first chord and see if you can get it. Oh, of course. Here we go.
Obi-Wan.
Montana.
Name that song.
Field of Broken Dreams.
What's that?
Field of Broken Dreams?
No, yeah. It's all good. Oh, someone else is jumping in here. Looks like somebody wants to get the say in.
Was that the Montana song?
Nope. Oh, you guys are going to kick yourselves when you hear it.
Why your mother pie?
Nope. Hey, 661, you're in. I just opened your line up.
Cry me a river. Shit.
Cry me a river shit. Yeah, okay. How are you, Elvita?
I can guess that song. Name that tune, please.
You know the name, right?
I know it. I'm not selling.
Okay, hold that thought. 775, you're in. Are we playing Name That Tune tonight? All right, 775, you're in. I heard that. Louder. Can't hear ya. Yeah. Wow, your mic is really quiet, and there's nothing I can do about it. But yes, you're right. You're the sun to me. Very good. And I know Alvita had it. That's why she jumped in. You can't trick the Gemini, bitch. Not a chance.
That's right.
Oh, you guys rock. Well, any last words from people, and then I'll roll out with a song, and we'll catch you all tomorrow night, and that way I should be all caught up tonight. And I'm gonna watch the Singing Plants video. Thank you. It's on my list. Thank you. I just
love you all.
Okay.
Okay, love you all. Aloha to the table.
Aloha.
All right.
All right. Lose a name, win a game.
Guys.
Lose a name, win the game, for Christ's sake. It's not that tough, and it is for Christ's sake. Would you please? Thanks, appreciate it. Much love. You're the sun to me, boys and girls. Straight to your heart. Okay, gotcha. I love you guys. Till tomorrow.
Bye.
Till on morrow. Hey, Borean, if you're around tomorrow, maybe we can have a phone chat.
That would be yes. Let's do that.
Okay, I was out today when you called, so that's why. Yeah.
No worries.
And again, guys, if you do need to get hold of me, I'm around. It's all good. You know that. So here we go. Much love.
All right.
Ever woke up when it just can't get much better? On your face even when it's rainy weather, when nothing matters just as long as we're together. You're the sun to me. You're the sun to me. And I can't remember ever feeling like I'm feeling. In the clouds all day, got me flying, got me reeling. And there ain't no way my heart can't be concealing. You're the sun to me. You're the sun to me. And I find just a little bit more and more each day, another reason that'll settle in. I know I found my way. All I had to do was look reason they won't need explaining. Why I smile all day even though it's always raining. 'Cause you're the one thing that is constant and sustaining. You're the sun to me. You're the sun to me. And I find just a little bit more and more each day. Another reason that'll settle in. I know I found my way. All I had to do was look far enough to see. You're the sun to me. And I find just a little bit more and more each day. Another reason that'll settle in. I know I found my way. All I had to do was look far enough to see. You're the sun to me. Ever woke up when it just can't get much better?
Good night, everybody. I love you all, and we'll see you on morrow. And some more success stories. I already feel them coming on now. Love you guys.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Fucking didn't, okay? I'm going to let that sink in. These are very subtle things. Using words like hopefully and maybe and perhaps and it seemed like and just by chance, what a coincidence, oh, that was lucky, all that stuff is telling me that you're still a Piscean fish head. You have no certainty of yourself at all. And I will be very quick to call that out with everyone, because it's that important. I was saying to Mary today as we were traveling around, I said, I'm getting tired of being the bitch here. I really am, guys. I'm really getting tired of being the devil's advocate, but I'll do it. I don't like having to go to the extent of, if people have to hate me to get this. That's no bother to me. But I have to assure you that there are better things I could be doing with my time. So I'm being as gentle as I can, when I can, and of course I will do whatever I need to do, come at you in whatever way I have to, new people that are at the table, some old-timers, I don't care what it takes to get this across to this level of certainty. Everything you say is everything you create. Abracadabra, I create what I say. Because say is creation itself. Himself, herself, itself. Look it up in a Latin to English translator. Type in 2 letters, S-E, which, by the way, phonetically means the divine feminine consciousness. 2 letters, S-E. Not second edition or special edition. That's one variation of it. But it is creation itself. That's why the word say matters so much, because it's coming out of your Taurus into the spiritual Taurus field, your mouth, through the pearly gates, teeth, from the lungs, Gemini spirit, excuse me, into the Taurus field of the physical. Okay? So the simple answer is, if you truly know who you are, you won't get pulled over anyway. They'll just look at you and drive away. You see, you'll remove yourself from what I've been calling the spiritual radar. The only way you can be spotted on the spiritual radar is if you have doubt, fear, and carrying ID. Someone who, I've said this before, someone who thinks they know who they are and are still carrying any form of identification while traveling in a car, driving, I don't care. I don't care about any terms. But that means, shut up. No, it means what it means. Who cares? I'll redefine the words as they matter to me. I'm not going to let some fucking lawyer or judge tell me what a word means. I'll decide what that sound means to me. It's only a sound. Who the fuck owns that? I make up my own language for that matter. Whose definition is it now? You see my point? But anyway, someone who's carrying around identification, thinking they know who they are, the same as an alcoholic walking around with a reformed alcoholic walking around with a 40-pounder in their back pocket just in case I have a relapse. Just in case I have a relapse, when you put something there as a safety net, you're saying that you're going to have a reason to fall back, and you will. Yes, you will. You will every time. Talking to the smokers out there, how many times you said, well, I'm going to have one pack of smokes and I'm not going to open them? And at least I know they're there, so I don't, I'm going to quit, but I know they're there if I need them, so I have peace of mind. And usually within about a day or less, that pack is opened, and oh well. If thine eye offend thee, pluck it out. Which means if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, stop doing it. And if somebody's doing something to you that they shouldn't be doing, then you stop them from doing it. You pluck them out. Okay? You make your own choices. Make no bones about that one. And the choices you make are your causal positions. So if you choose to stand in the truth and then decide at the last minute not to, well, please don't expect the universe to stand with you. Well, you won't stand with me, I won't stand with you. Remember the opening scene in The Mummy? Where, what's his name?
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good whatever it is. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. Here we go. What is it, Wednesday? Never know what day. The only way I know what day it is because of Tuesdays. The only reason I know that is because I do 2 shows on Tuesdays. So, hi everybody. How are you doing? Good. Where do I want to start? Well, I'll tell you. Let me grab my phone. I'll tell you where I'm going to start. First thing I do like to get out there is it's been a bit of drama going on, and of course I don't tolerate drama at all in any way, shape, or form. So just let people know that. Excuse me. I don't deal with it well. I just delete. It works. Anyway, I got this really, really awesome. Got to say a big shout out to Pa down in Shreveport, and you might know him as one of our police buddies that is doing his job inside, baby, and having some fun while doing it. And just a treat to talk to him anytime he calls. And everyone is. I got to tell you, everyone's just great. Anyway, just got a text from him about, let me see, what time? About 20 to 5, a couple hours ago, not even, hour and a half ago. And I'll start the energy off with this because I always like starting off with fun and finishing with fun. It's kind of how I fly. Anyway, this one in from Pa. And I'm so glad you chose that. I can't even go back to the other name because it works so perfectly for you. Anyway, here was a text I got today. I've had at least 5 attorneys backpedaling today just by asking them if using the legal name is fraud. I even had one of them tell me to quit listening to you. Imagine that. Don't kid yourself, people. These lawyers, they know who I am. There's a name that they're getting spinning around in their universe, and this is the effect that you all have, right? There's a name in the fictitious slave trading, soul stealing, legal matrix world that goes around that is I know is causing great disturbance because that's been my purpose and intent all along, and that is Kate of Gaia. Not because it's me, but because of what it represents as far as we This is not a singular effort, of course. This is our mission to accomplish. I have my piece, you have yours. And what we're doing now is accomplishing these things on a grand scale, probably a lot bigger than any of you imagined. And, there are some days I have to pinch myself, but this has gone beyond exponential. I've been away for a few hours today, so I'm really just getting back and getting up to speed here, guys. So bear with me until I get my little brain going here. I actually get my heart going, because the brain's really just a messed up thing to play with. But, man, you rock. I did have a few questions in the Facebook, and I haven't had a chance to open my email yet, but I just want to quickly go through a few of these, and we'll get this open tonight. And lots of interaction. Anyone that's got some Magic Road or Yellow Brick Road Interstate 60 stories to share as you're becoming aware of your invisible shields that truly are around you. The more people hear that from others other than myself, because guys, I've been talking for so long. It's just Kate. She's just saying the same shit all over again. Yeah, because it just took you this long to figure it out. It's that simple. It's really mind-boggling when you stop and think about it. People want to, I've got to save my home and my family and my car and my this and my that. And why are you using a legal name then? But if I don't, see, but. It's the only thing that's got you in prison. But you can't get that through thick skull, you see, because you're programmed. And that's why we're here, to thin that skull a little bit, Hopefully, anyway. That's my intent. And why I've been doing this for as many years as I have. And standing so far outside the box, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. But it's a lot more comfortable than the Princess and the Pea, because no matter how many mattresses that you pile on that pea, which is no matter how much you try to hide from that lie, you'll never sleep comfortably. And that's what we're doing, is we're showing people how to you're not sleeping right, because you got a lie that you're sleeping on there. That's a pea. And people would rather just keep adding mattresses on and deluding themselves. But the truth of this is very simple. Just plant the seed and walk away. They're not your concern. You can't rationalize with insanity, and you certainly can't reason with psychopathy. And unfortunately, many of the people in your day-to-day lives are dealing with both of that. And tell me they're not. How many people that stand in the truth have been, put into mental institutions? Family members and friends and what have you. And that just shows you the level of degradation that family members or friends or whatever they would go to. Like in the case of Megan, she does not want to have anything to do with an inheritance coming at her, and because her kids were going to benefit from it, they decided to put her in a hospital. I've known Meg for a while, and there's people getting word out about that. Again, this is, for me, it's the course. And I can't say it's not my concern, but I have to say it's not my concern. I do care, but it's the more I can get neutral on this and accept all things and stand in the arms of universe, the quicker this resolves itself, because I know that's what has to happen. We create the resistance against the actual allowing of creation itself. But let's get back to this question from Jim, and I'll start it again. I have a question for you. I recently learned about the whole legal name thing. If I were to get pulled over for anything aside from hurting someone else or their property, and an officer stops me for some bullshit, how would I go about saying that the legal name on the ID is not me without sounding like a smart-ass, sarcastic liar, or a sovereign citizen, or a free man on the land? Well, here's the problem right out of the gate, because the smart-ass and the sarcastic liar is actually the cop. They're trained to do that. So standing in truth doesn't make you a sarcastic liar or a smart ass. It actually makes you honest. It makes you willing to stand in the truth. And the answer is quite simple. If you're carrying ID, you don't know who you are. So if you carry anything that on you, and don't worry, just because a cop can't see into your purse or into your wallet or pocket doesn't mean the universe doesn't know you're carrying ID, and that's the part that people are missing here. The universe sees all. This is the all-seeing eye, remember? The all-creating eye. Ponder that one for a couple of seconds. You know, I think of the ludicrous insanity of people that are, oh, you know, NSA's watching and, you know, spyware and, yeah, great. What part of the all-seeing, the entire universe that is fully and completely aware of you aren't you getting? You think you have secrets. No, you don't. That's the joke. You think you do. You're in the illusion that you have secrets. But you're only fooling yourself. You're deluding yourself. But I'll tell you this right now. If you're carrying ID and you're not certain of who you are and you're still playing in the Matrix and the Whore of Babylon, number of the beast, name of the beast, mark of the beast, don't worry. The universe knows that. And you will get tested. And chances are, if you want to try to pull a free man stunt while carrying ID, please expect to get, I don't know, have the shit beat out of you. That might be something that could happen. You might get your ass dragged to jail. What else? Oh, there's lots of things. Do not test the universe. Do not test truth. You either stand in it. Don't tempt the truth, because you will lose. I promise you. This is where you got to get real clean with yourself. This is where you got to get real clean. And you're going to have to decide something. You're going to have to decide whether you're going to be part of the Whore of Babylon system or you're going to start extricating yourself from it. At whatever degree it needs to go. But the most important and fundamental thing that people need to understand here is you need to have your mind changed first. Because people still talk in terms of, you know, I got something in the mail. No, it was expensive college, I assure you. But very worth it in the end, because what I get to witness now is people keeping their homes because they're not the legal name, and any servers or base that come anywhere near them can't go any further because they need the legal name to steal your stuff. You see, anything that's attached to that legal name is accessible through you by consenting to be that legal name. I know it's like everything in your universe is your computer filled with everything that matters to you. And you don't want anyone to touch that. But here you go, you hand out the password every time you consent to be a legal name. So whose fault is it? And it's not like I haven't said this a few 100,000 times. Lose the name, win the game, okay? But Kate, it can't be that simple. Yeah, you keep saying that. You keep saying that, and you keep giving up your families, your children, your homes, everything around you, your businesses. You keep giving up everything in terms of your foolishness into feeding a child-murdering system called taxes. You keep doing that. Yeah, if you're comfy with that, you just keep doing that. But don't expect any great rewards as a result of being party to crime, fraud, right? Okay, let me see. I just want to go through these and have a look, because this probably set the pace nicely. Just a shout out to you, Ryan, Jay Ryan. It's just been crazy the last little bit. I'll do my best to hook up with you tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Not exactly sure what you want to talk about, but yeah, we'll chat tomorrow. Come on. There we go. All right, so this one's in from Jin AIT. Where are we? Okay, and these are I just glanced. I haven't read it yet, but I know this is going to be an atypical. I get these questions every day, all day, every day. So I'm going to answer it, and it's the same answer I'm going to give everyone that has any of these scenarios whatsoever, because it is this simple. There is nothing. It's like this. If you had one thing holding up the entire castle, and if you pulled that pin out, let's say there's one linchpin, cornerstone, and if you remove it, the whole castle falls down and destroys it all. And if you knew where that cornerstone was, you'd understand what I'm talking about. The castle, if you can imagine, is the entire matrix of the legal system, the banks, the governments, all of this other fear-porn shit that people still wallow in and play in the matrix. And why would you waste time climbing around up in the branches of this tree that is falling right now because I've got my chainsaw all the way through it? Me and a handful of others. You know, you want to hang around with the monkeys up in the fucking tree, you go ahead. But that mother's coming down, with or without you on ground. So this is a one answer that takes the whole castle, the whole tree down. There's no point in trying to pick a branch off only to have the branch grow again, and you haven't done anything else to help anybody else. So when you get into the attitude of helping all of humanity with all of your decisions, then you're going to start moving forward. And until then, you're just a Luciferian meat stick stuck in the legal matrix of this literal world. Enjoy the merry-go-round. Don't expect to get out of here anytime soon. Because I'll tell you, here's your deja vu moment from Kate. If you have a deja vu moment right now listening to what I'm saying, it means you fucked it up the last time. Try to get it right this time, okay? Because that's all I'm doing. I have a question for you. This is from Jen. I recently learned about the whole legal name thing. Good. Words out, baby. If I were to get pulled over, see, scripting. So I'm going to nip that in the bud just to show people, stop doing this. Because you're actually scripting your own, I'm going to get pulled over stuff, okay? If you need to, if universe has to give you something like a feather dust situation where you get to actually prove this to yourself once and for all, or you can just actually know this, great, but do not script. But and thank you. I'm going to remember, I am not passing judgment on anything or anyone here. What I'm doing is being a neutral observer on every situation as being everything the same, because it is. It's one story, one common thread, one easy cornerstone. All right, and I know that sounds unbelievable. That's because you're in Pisces age. I'm in Aquarius. I know this, and there are many of us in the age of Aquarius now. The vastness of humanity, as far as I can tell, is still stuck in the age of Pisces, I believe mentality. And you enter the age of Aquarius when you suddenly give up the I believe just because everyone else does, and then you move into the 1 + 1 = 2 and try to tell me otherwise. Here, before I continue here, let me give you a little example of how important this is and how quickly people buckle to peer pressure because they don't want to be outside the crowd, outside the box. It's on YouTube. I remember seeing it about a year ago, and I thought it was quite brilliant. And what they had done was they'd set up a blind test where they had, I think, 10 university students would have to come in and answer a series of questions, observational questions. And one of the students, I don't think it was 10, but anyway, there was at least half a dozen or more. But one of the students wasn't in on the gig. All right? The one came in blind. The other 9 knew what was going on, and what they were told to do was deliberately, as a team, pick the wrong answer every time to see how long it would take the one that didn't know what was going on to buckle, if they indeed buckled. Oh, yeah, this monkey buckled. Took about 4 questions, but he finally buckled. You know, this is the power of listening to bullshit, right? When you listen to people that are talking about all the wrong stuff all the time, and just because there's a half a dozen of them talking about the same bullshit, doesn't mean to say you have to go over there and say, hey, oh, okay, I agree with that bullshit. No, you walk over there and say, you know what, guys, that's bullshit. Stand in your own truth. But what inevitably happened was, I think it took 2 or 3 questions. What they were doing was they were putting placards up, and they would have, say, 4 lines of different lengths. And they were asked to give an answer, A, B, C, or D, as to which one was the longest or which one was the shortest. And these things were mind-numbingly blatant. There was no way you could doubt yourself unless you felt peer pressure, which this individual did. And it was the same effect with everyone. I'd like to see them pull that shit on me. I'd be calling them all a bunch of wankers. But anyway, including the guy doing the test. It's a load of shit, man. You got a bunch of retards here, and you're not jumping in. But anyway, bottom line is this. First one comes up, and I think it was which line is the longest? And let's say it was B. And the other, the students would say they would say D, right, which was second longest. They wouldn't play it totally blatant, but it was blatant enough to tell. So anyway, they would start with one of the students that knew what was going on. They say, yeah, D is the longest. Another one. And, of course, the guy that didn't know what was going on kind of gave that, the puppy dog head tilt. Huh? What? Huh? And the next 1 or 2 students after this one also said D. And by this point, this guy's kind of, are they seeing something that I'm not seeing here? But anyway, he said, no, it's B. And of course, no one reacted. This was the neat thing about it, was the only one that ever reacted was the guy that didn't know what was going on. So then it would go to the next one, they'd see D, and everyone except this guy that actually got it right said D. And then, of course, the teacher or the one running the survey or blind test said, okay, no problem. And he would take the placard away, would not give an answer. So there was no certainty in who was right or who was wrong. So this guy was left hanging, not sure if he got it right because the answer wasn't given at the end of that placard. Then it went to the next placard, something similar along, which circle is bigger or which circle is smaller, and of course the same routine. And he would pick the right one again, and the rest of the students would pick the wrong one. But you can start to see this guy question himself. And then I think by the fourth one, I think he was the third or fourth to be asked which one it was, and the two or three in front of him had said the wrong answer, and he's just kind of looking side to side, and he said, yeah, it's that one, right? It's absolutely wrong, blatantly wrong. That's the power of peer pressure. And that's what you're dealing with in this physical meat stick world, boys and girls. And you better decide whether you're going to go along with the fucking retards that are getting it wrong, or stand on your own and decide that 1 + 1 = 2, and no one's going to shift you from it. Yeah, it's not an easy place to stand, because when you stand in the truth and in the reality of what's really going on here, you are a sore thumb